Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nightmare Hunter on July 19th, 2021. Folks, it's absolutely awesome. We're getting it going. It is a glorious day. We haven't done an episode in a while. Hell, haven't done an episode in 2 weeks. So we're going to get to it right there. Josh says, that's funny. He said he was able to hear you whistling. That's funny. That was good. So we just learned something. Good afternoon, Josh. Thank you, folks. We're already going and blowing. We already have 2 likes. All Tower Media and Josh, thank you. And folks, you know who I am. I'm Royer.
Who are
NORIEGA.
you?
I'm that guy that has a cursory relationship with that criminal from Panama, even though my family line goes directly from Mexico over to Spain, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm not going to take any credit for that. But ladies and gentlemen, as a matter of fact, already as the co-host of this glorious program, you see him right there, just over to my left. It is Nick Valente. He is a Fortean researcher and cryptozoologist, director of the North American Dogman Project, Region 3, and the International Dogman Project. Most noted for boots on the ground field investigation of cryptids around the USA, Mexico, and Canada. So, good evening. Thank you for joining us, Nick.
Hey, good evening, Roger.
Dude,
It's always my pleasure.
Your pedigree. I asked about it yesterday like an idiot. I didn't even realize it, and you blew me away on it. I said, dude, you got to give me a blurb, man.
Just a little one. It's just a little one. But I got to say, I do confess, I have most fun doing the boots on the ground investigations, going, state to state, going after different cryptids, being able to prove to myself what they are, or if they are really cryptids or not. And it's been a blast, I'll tell you, traveling all over the United States, meeting a lot of people, and a lot of really nice people in cryptozoology, I'll have to tell you.
I bet. These are the real people, the salt of the earth, the people that, many people ignore because of the stuff that they've seen, experienced, whatever. It's just absolutely amazing. And people don't want to talk to them. They think they're crazy. They think they're foolish, liars, attention seekers, right?
Well, there's thousands upon thousands of people that have seen things, and I guess they all want attention, and they're all out there, BSing, and they're liars. But you know what? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because I myself have personally seen a dog man from
Wow.
30 feet away. I had an encounter, and I don't care what anybody else says. You're not going to convince me otherwise, because I know what I saw that night. And I've spoken to other people out there, and a lot of people don't want to come forward. They'll tell me their story, but they do not want their name or their state, or the town they live in, or anything about that, put out there, because people are, like you said, they're going to think they're crazy. Or maybe the people at their job will think they're crazy and they won't get that promotion. Or they might even get fired for that matter, because they saw a UFO, or they saw a Sasquatch, or a Mothman or something like that out there. It's like, sorry, it's going to come out. In the next 3 years, I really do predict. I think that the government's going to come out with it.
And you have been on that. Not that I necessarily ambushed you on it the other day, but I did kind of pressed you for a comment, and you did. I think you said between 2 and 3 years. I remember that. Yeah. That's crazy.
They're coming out right now, little bits and pieces, trying to prep everybody about the UFOs. And I know on another show that we've been on together, I had said that I had finished a 6-month-long investigation. Hey, DA, how are you? Yeah, we miss you. But anyway, I had said I'd been out on a 6-month investigation of Sasquatch and Dogman in connection with UFOs. And I have, even though I concluded after 6 months, I've continued it the last few months because I still continue to get emails, Facebook messages, telephone calls Unfortunately, I did put my telephone number up on my personal site, so people, they go there and they get the number and they do give me a buzz and they tell me about things that have happened to them. And it's increased now, Roger. It's increased to over 600 different encounters. I really had stopped at 385, and it's over 600 encounters now where people have seen a UFO either before, after, or before and after. They have they had an encounter or a sighting of a Sasquatch or a Dogman. So I combined the two because I wanted to get a large grouping over there, and I did. I got quite a large grouping. Now, mind you, I didn't just read about this stuff. I also spoke to a lot of these people, close to half, on the telephone, and a lot of people. I went out to their homes, or I met them where at a Dunkin' Donuts or at a Krispy Kreme or someplace, wherever they wanted to meet. And not just in New Jersey where I live. I've traveled to the other states because I really wanted to see face to face with these people. Uh, Years and years ago, I went to the FBI Academy's interview and interrogation course, and it was
Oh
a
yeah.
fabulous course down in Quantico. And that's the reason why I want to go face to face with people, and I watch, how they react. I watch their eyes. I watch their body posture and everything. And and the majority of these people are not, just telling me a story. Majority of these people have been really bothered. I mean, bothered by their encounter. So I wind up being like a counselor to a lot of people, and I'll have to sit there and order some more food and more coffee because we're going to be sitting there for a couple hours, and I'm trying to talk them down. Um, this one fellow, just a real quick story. This one fellow, a couple of months ago, he lives in Virginia. He had not gotten any sleep for 4 nights because he had sighted. I want to use his exact words. He had sighted dogmen on his property, and he had claw marks on the side of his house, which he went out in the daytime. He took pictures of and sent them to me. And he had reinforced previously all the doors and windows in his house. The windows on the first floor all were polycarbonate, a quarter of an inch thick, and he had bars going across. The doors were metal framed, and he had the old fashioned bars that you could just put down in two different spots on his doors, you know. And I didn't want to say anything, but I believe that the strength of a dog man, 7 foot 5 or 6 inch dog man weighing in about 650 pounds, I kind of think if they wanted to get in, they would have got in through that. But he wasn't concerned with his windows, which were barred and he had polycarbonate on them and everything, or the doors. He was concerned about this one window that was about 20 feet off the ground, and it was like in an octagonal shape. And he had put some polycarbonate in front of it. He just kind of glued the edges onto it from the outside, and that's what was keeping him up at nighttime. He couldn't get sleep for 4 days. So I told him, I says, look at it this way: you have alarms too on your doors and windows. If they're broken, it'll wake you up. Just be prepared. Have some pepper spray. Have your 30-06, ready by your bed. Have your 44 Magnum ready. I mean, he told me all the stuff he had, and I kind of talked him down after about 2 hours, and he got back to me the next day and he said, yeah, he did get some sleep finally, and he just felt a lot better for talking. But lately, that's what I've been doing: a lot of talking to people and trying to get them to calm down and note that you're not being stalked by Dogman or any kind of a cryptid out there, really.
Nick, I appreciate that. And we're going to get back to some of that right now. I want to give shout outs. As you know, I was already highlighting some of the messages. Thank you, Patty. Yes, he is a badass. There's no doubt. But thank you, DA, for the love on that one. I know, Nick, you were telling us. I love this quote. I'm good, thank you. This is awesome. We have the Nightmare Hunter with the Cryptid Hunter. Two badasses in their fields. And then, of course, my cousin. Well, at least one of them is, DA. So she's already got it bad for you on that one. My dear old cousin. But folks, I do want to give a quick shout out. We have quite a few people watching us, and we're going to get to a lot of material tonight. Shout outs Josh Dalton, Michael Day, Todd Hunter, Josh Jones, All Tower Media, D.A. Roberts, Joyce Vivens Harvey, Patty Figueroa Gonzalez. Should be Noriega in there, but that's okay. Aurelio Rico Lopez III, and Tony Kanopka. There it is, folks. We salute you. Thank you for spending time with us. Yes, yes, yes. Folks, very quickly, I don't know if you know what today is. It is July 19th, and I'm going to start posting some stuff. But did you know that on this day in 1799, during Napoleon Bonaparte's Egyptian campaign, a French soldier discovered a black basalt slab inscribed with ancient writing near the town of Rosetta, about 35 miles east of Alexandria. The irregular shaped stone contained fragments of passages written in 3 different scripts. You all know what it is. A little bit of trivia. Don't look it up. Can you tell me? And I'm not pressing you, Nick. I'm sure you know, or even if you don't, you would get 2 out of the 3. But folks, what are the 3 languages that are on the Rosetta Stone? And that's why we now know the phrase, the Rosetta Stone, is what allowed us to discover a dead language, more than 2,000 years old at the time. But what were the 3 languages that were on the Rosetta Stone? Anyone know? Yes, DA, yes, it is the Rosetta Stone. Good job. But do you guys know what it is? And it was really cool because it was the 3 transcriptions in 3 languages. And for those of you that get it, oh, D.A. Roberts, very good. Oh, Josh Jones, Latin, Egyptian, and Sumerian. D.A. Roberts has Egyptian, Greek, and Aramaic. Did you want to give it a shot, Nick?
Latin, Egyptian, and Greek.
Okay, very good. Oh, we're getting some guesses here. This is cool. 2 of them were hieroglyphics and Greek. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a little bit of sarcasm in that answer. And then Patty says, every language spoken on Ancestry DNA. All right, smart ass. All right. Actually, what it was ancient Greek. I apologize. Greek, Egyptian hieroglyphics, and Egyptian demotic. So very good, Greg. Very good. Yes. And yeah, you're right on that one. And Neoma Finn. Oh, demotic, Greek, and something else. You're close. No, I don't, Greg. Actually, the reason why I said no sarcasm was because, is he right? Did I get it wrong? That was my only answer at the time, Greg. You were right on, pal. No sarcasm whatsoever. Roger Peacock, my tocayo, thank you for the like as well. We're up to 11, folks. The magic number is 33. So we hit 32 last time. If we can get 33, $5 card, and we'll do double again. But we're having a good time right now. So it is on the Rosetta Stone. You can look it up at history.com today for some details. But I'm going to put a link right now if you guys want to go to it. And some really cool stuff. Let me see. I've got to open up that file. Forgive me. And I'm getting messages galore. Nick, are you able to hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly. While you're looking that up, if you want, I can answer that question that DA put up there before.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yes, he asked the question. He says, what about that guy who had a dog man trying to come through the dog door? He had a little doggy door near LBL. All right, now, the dog man was way too big, but I think it's obvious that the dog man sensed that there was a small dog in the house, and he actually put his hand in through the door trying to grab the dog, and the dog was barking at the hand coming in through the door. He was not coming through that doggy door, however, because he was way too big for it. And the guy wound up getting a shotgun and taking a shot at it, and that was the end of that. They didn't see that dog man anymore, but that little dog came close, according to the owner, about getting snatched, like this, by the dog man.
Yeah, that is crazy, man.
I'm a little ahead of my time here with Mr. Christmas.
Oh no, hey, I did notice that was good.
It's
Shout
my
out to Greg
co-host.
Price
Hey,
again, another like. Oh, hey, those are cool. You see, you're a lot more festive than I am. I just stick with Star Trek all year. That's why my cousin never comes over to visit.
do you have a?
She thinks I have issues.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Star Trek. I was thinking Star Wars. If you had the laser thing, the
Oh,
sword
I have the laser swords, plural.
from Disney World or Universal or anything like
Uh,
that.
no, I'm sure they're sold there now, but my daughter is collecting them from the store that she worked at. She finally left GameStop, but at one point I said, "Do you just give them your check? I mean, it's you don't bring anything home."
Yeah.
She, on her own, was keeping that company afloat. There's no doubt about it. I'm proud of her for that, but she's done. She did her duty, and now she's going to be returning to school, which is the best thing. So yes, I do believe. And
Oh,
folks, let me know if you like the T-shirt. I've had this one on before. This is the
I
one I
thought you
have for the Nightmare Hunter.
were showing off your pectoralis major.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have none. That's dead weight, Nick. You're the one that's in shape. I'm the one that's a shape.
Hey,
So,
Roger, I'll be right back. Just take it from there.
ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I did mention that we were going to be looking at several items, and we have two lists today, and I'm going to show those links. I'm going to put them up in the chat room right now. Patty says she'll be impressed when she sees me in yoga pants. Cousin, we respect. No, forget it. No, we don't. But I've got several things. Yeah, DA, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, he's gone, so you left him alone. Okay, folks, I have a few things that we're going to get to. I have the top 10 cryptids in uh, the Philippines, and then I found out there's over 260. It's incredible. I'm going to put a link. I hope it shows up. No, it's not. Okay, but if you do a search for that phrase, it will take you to the top 10 links. And we're going to be talking about some of those right now. I'm going to see if I can pull up a web page, and then we're going to go to them right now. And we're going to talk about them a little bit. But Aurelio, when he discovered us early on, he immediately said, "When are you going to get to the Philippines?" And we said, "We're making our way over there," and we didn't. And now I'm doing my best to get there right now. We did talk about them a little bit a few weeks ago, but we're going to spend some more time right now. Actually, here is the link. This one is probably better. Yes. And if you want to follow along on that page, damn cats, I saw the movement. One of the cats came to the garage right now. Oh, hijos de su madre, the hair standing up. But anyway, what little hair I have. But the top 10 Philippine cryptids that you've probably never heard of. So I'm going to get to that right now. I know there are quite a few comments, so I ask you to bear with us. Neoma says, I have a shape as well. I'm told it's mildly reminiscent of Java. I like that one, Java. Hey, folks, if any of you want to join us, come on, guys. You guys are more than welcome to join us. How many GI encounters are there? I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's probably right here, but I'm not getting it. But I did put a picture of it, and I'm going to go to the web page so I can show you what I'm looking at. And if you want to follow along, as I mentioned, you may do so. But there it is. Number one, Alan. And if you look at the map, this is from the main island of Luzon from the upper north. The island is a mysterious race of small, deformed, half human, half avian creatures. Their elongated fingers and feet are said to point backwards, which they use to hang upside down from trees with. As horrific as this may sound, they are relatively harmless. They're even rumored to adopt children who've been lost in the jungle. They are said to procreate by collecting menstrual blood, aborted fetuses, and afterbirth from humans, which they form into Allen children. Wow. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but this is, I believe, the province or the state of Abra. And if Aurelio is here, I'm sure he'll correct me on that. But folks, as I say, if anyone wants to join us, The link is, oh, there we go. I heard of the guy who runs the Aswang project isn't even Filipino, but it reads pretty accurately. You are right on that, young man. I did look into it, and I did some cross checking on 3 of the 10 for this one, and I found it to be accurate. So I thank you, young man. Yeah, this is really good stuff. It's the aswangproject.com. It's in the links that I posted up there, and you can follow along. The second one is, and I think this is the one that Nick asked me on for the pronunciation. I know I'm going to blow this one, but it's Amamongo in Western Visayas. So this is the area of Western Visayas, if you're able to see it. A hairy, wild, man-sized ape with long nails that terrorizes solitary villages. That is crazy. The third one is Calariut, and this one is found in Pampanga. Aurelio, when I mention these, are these states, territory, provinces? Uh, yeah, you're a mango, a banana. Yeah, I know. Let me see. It's very possible, Patty, and that's why I went with number one on that one. So we'll see. But folks, as I mentioned, if anyone wants to join us, let us know. We'll send you the code and we'll bring you on. You can email us, contact us. We'll bring you aboard. For those of you that are part of NDB Media, you can check the forum of NDB Media, and the link is in there. So, Kaluriu in Pampanga. This is an elusive creature with big eyes, a white beard, and black fur. A harmless creature. It lives in bamboo groves or in the forest. If a house is located nearby, it quietly watches the household members while they slept. So Aurelio refers to them as islands and districts. Thank you for that, young man. That means a great deal to me. Now I know. Lampong from Ilongot. It's a one-eyed deer. The image is very difficult, but you see the ears here, the other ear. There may be some horns right there, but this was. I apologize for this showing up, but it's a one-eyed deer. When first seen, becomes 2 feet tall. Later wears tall black two-peaked cap, bright-eyed and long-bearded. It's found in eastern Nueva Vizcaya and western Quirino, which is on the east coast of the main island of the Philippines. And it is the main island of Luzon. By the way, for those of you that know, this is Leyte Gulf down here. Look it up, folks. October 25, 1944. That's Leyte Island right around there. A pirate deer. Very good, Aurelio. So bear with me. We'll get to the comments in a moment. Mameleu in the Western Visayas. And again, we already had one in the Western Visayas. Check that out. It's a sea serpent with body and head as large as that of a water buffalo. It also possesses 2 white horns, and its body stretches up to 30 fathoms long. It has eyes, torch-like, fire jets in them, long teeth, and large resistant scales. So, wow, that's crazy. And I did look these over. I did not really, I prepped, I checked, and so you have to bear with me. The pronunciation, I'm sure I'm butchering. Number 6 on this list is Malangilao or Mananghilao, and it's found on Bicol, which is this area, district, or islands. Bicolano. It's a hairy humanoid giant in the mountains and caves of Bicol, generally described as having big feet, bodies covered in black hair, deep voices, and various-looking faces. My family! The shy and harmless beast. Yeah, okay, not my family. Which some wrap around their waist like belts to catch fish and shrimp in the river. My family! In the river or on small animals. In the 1980s, too, Maninggalao, a mother and child were allegedly captured by soldiers patrolling in Mount Isarog. The 2 beasts were chained to train wagons for 15 days and were fed with live chicken and cow's blood. Nobody knows what became of the said creatures.
Now, before you move on to the next one,
Yes,
not to be confused with the Mananagal. Now, the Mananagal is a vampire-like creature that
that's the one. Yes.
separates. I don't know if we did that already, but it separates its lower half of its body from the upper half, and the wings come out, and it flies away, and it goes to pregnant women, and it sucks out the heart of the fetus, and it also feeds on the blood of the pregnant woman. The only way to escape it is through death, of course. But I mean, instead of going through all the pain and punishment that you're going to go through if the thing gets you, you just kill yourself. Well, the other alternative is to have somebody find the other half, the lower portion, the legs. And what you can do is you could put salt on it, crushed garlic, or ash, and that will inhibit the upper half from reconnecting with the lower half. And if it can't reconnect, by the time the daytime comes, it dies. So
Wow.
that's the vampire one creature. The one you just did was a real nice one, actually.
Okay, so that's not it then.
No, it's a different creature. It's a vampire-like creature. I don't think we have a picture of it here.
Aurelio is commenting. This is to you, Vince. I'm sorry, Nick. You know your Filipino folklore, my friend. The
I have,
Manananggal is perhaps one of the most popular monsters in the Philippines. Wow. Yes.
it is. It's a very scary one too. It's a nasty looking thing. I wish we can put a picture up there of it.
I may have it in the second listing because I do have. I have the first one, which is 10, and then another 260. So I'll see if I'll be able to find that one in just a
Oh, okay.
moment.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Forgive me. I'm doing the 10 cryptids right here, and I had to find the link. That's why I posted that one. So
Oh, okay.
we'll definitely get through that one real quick. I thought it was that one, but I guess not.
No,
Now,
that's a friendly one.
yeah, no kidding. Da says he's off to bed. All right, enjoy your doctor's appointment. I hope it goes well for you. Once again, Da, make sure he's wearing gloves. If he's not wearing gloves, move your ass.
No, make sure that. No, I won't say that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, he's in trouble if both the doctor's hands are on him at the same
Yeah.
time, and he's not wearing gloves. But I don't think he's going for probing time, is he? He's
I
probably.
don't know. He
I
didn't seem to answer.
I suspect he's going for his back.
Yes, yes.
He might be
So,
a little pain there.
yeah, yeah. Folks, I don't know if you caught his video. Da uploaded a video on his Da verse that he was out and about 16 or a day ago, 16 hours or so. But anyway, Mantahungal, and it's in Tagbanua on the island of Palawan.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is
Oh,
one.
Josh asked this earlier. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Nick, what part of Virginia was that guy in you were talking about? And I do apologize. Folks, I am having trouble keeping up with the comments, so I ask you to bear with me. But Nick, Josh did ask earlier.
All right, Josh. I can talk to you off the air more about it, but I said I wouldn't give his particulars. But he's in Eastern Virginia.
And I think that's all he really wanted, just to know,
Yeah.
which is cool, which is good.
So anyway, this beastie here, I mean, it is one ugly thing.
Yeah, this might be family again.
Well, this doesn't have any horns, though. I know it looks like a bison.
It's cow-like in body and voice, but hornless. Shaggy coat of hair, monstrous mouth with two pairs of huge tusk-like incisors. Wow.
Now,
That's
for those Filipinos, people that are into the lore, this thing, if it finds you injured, it's not going to be friendly. It's going to eat you. It's almost like it's like a boar, or like a pig. A pig will eat anything. A boar will eat anything. This thing will eat you. So that's why you don't want to be out in the wilderness or in the swamps and have this find you.
yeah, no kidding. Greg, I see your comment. I don't believe we have a connection on Facebook. So I'm just, folks, there it is. There's the link to the program. You want to join us? You got to hit on the link. Okay, so it's there. Um, actually, we did this one, so I think we're good. Let me get rid of that one, Greg. Let me see if you give me a moment. Okay. Oh, bringing him on right now, the hardest working man of all in Ohio. How are you, Josh?
That's debatable, but I appreciate that. How's it going, guys?
There he is. Hey, how are you? Haven't
I'm
seen
doing
you in
all right.
at least a couple hours.
Couple hours. Yep.
That's funny. So, how you doing? Are you waiting for a job right now?
Yeah, I just got to the warehouse. The trailer is just got loaded on the dock, so it's going to be a while before they get it loaded.
Josh, thank you. I appreciate you joining us, man. That is really cool.
Yeah, no,
Todd,
these things are creepy as hell. Like a lot more creepy than a lot of the other cryptids you guys have gone over.
yeah, and let me tell you, on the list that, oh, yeah, we're on YouTube, but we're doing it out of StreamYard, guys. So maybe it's just not working at the moment, Greg. Hopefully it will. But maybe you need to reset. But that's the way to get in, guys. It's through StreamYard. That's the only way that we're doing it. Sorry. But he's my favorite cousin. Hola, Josh. I don't know what the hell that means. I guess you're her favorite cousin now? Because you're
I'll
family?
take it.
And I think we may have lost Nick for a moment. Oh, here he is. I'm sorry. You're back.
Oh, there I am. Hey, did you do
Yeah.
the Anglo yet?
I'm sorry, the what?
The Anglo.
Oh, no. About to do that one right now. The Anglo.
Right.
And it's found in the eastern Visayas.
Yeah.
And it's Waray, large and frightful. He lives in a dark Nipa swamps. He uses his huge, hardest stone elbows and knees to break shellfish. You can tell he's eating when you hear the shells of two-way or clams being broken. Wow. That is crazy.
The locals believe that what the Anglo does is he rolls his, he puts his knees and his elbows on the mud, and then he rolls them over stone and rock and stuff so that he can smash things. It's similar to some of the Sasquatch and Bigfoot in the United States and Canada that roll themselves in the mud, and then they'll roll around rock. And a lot of them have been found to be, almost impenetrable to rifle fire, but it's due to the fact that they've rolled themselves in rock and the mud keeps it sticking to them and their nasty old hair and everything.
Interesting.
They need to get some Head and Shoulders shampoo and get all that stuff off their body. But okay, switch
that's
on.
good. That is funny. I apologize, folks, about the announcements showing up right there. I don't know why, but I do apologize. Now, this one I believe we did talk about Pongo. And it's Bicolano, another ape-like creature from Mythical Folklore. This one resembles an orangutan, but twice bigger than a male gorilla and a lot faster than a regular orangutan. Now, this one is found in Bicol, which is over several islands. Just looking at the map from here, I would say that's 6, but knowing that there's over 7,000 islands in the Philippines, that could be somewhere about 1/6 or 1/5 of the area. So that's crazy. The reason why I chose this one, folks, is because I went ahead and I saw that images were there, which was really cool. Check this one out. Timu. An ape-like ogre deep in the forests of Iloilo. Its mouth can gape so wide it can chew a human whole. Its name means likes to chew or always chews. That's crazy. You know what? We lost Nick again. Okay, there you are. You're back.
I don't understand this. I'm just popping in and out. But I was just saying this was my favorite one because he eats people whole. But then again, remember the people in the Philippines, they're a little smaller than we are generally. So he can pop them in their mouth like little Pop-Tarts.
Oh, this is excellent. Nick, I don't know if you know that answer. Aurelio. If you know, oh, there it is. Look at that. Right on there. He answered right away. Check it out. Todd, most of them are just folklore. Yes. That's why I did point that out when I did the announcement today. Oh, I may have a message. Oh, heck yeah. Actually, folks, here it is right now. I'm going to take a quick moment and I'm going to place this link. I'm so happy that you did so. Ladies and gentlemen, we've known about it. We have an author in the house. His name is Aurelio Rico Lopez III. And this one was published on July 25th, 2018. The book is Not the Forgiving Kind. And I thank you for doing so. I'm glad you've been with us from almost the very beginning, Aurelio. This is so cool. I don't think you were there for the first episode, but I think you were there for the second. So I'm going to try to get a link. Oh, dude! How many books do you have? 2? Maybe 3? I did not know that. Dude, we've got to interview you. But anyway, I want to see if I can get the link for it. And it's not... Oh, okay, here we go. Save link. Let me see if I can find it this way. Here it is, folks. Check. Oh, no. It didn't save it. So I apologize. Aurelio sent me the link on Amazon, but it's not allowing me to print the link or to copy the link. Let me see. Copy link address. Does it work that way? Yeah, fair enough. Check it out, guys. Right here. Here's the link. You can see it yourselves. Not the Forgiving Kind. Check it out. It's on Kindle. It is paperback. And this one was published on July 25th, 2018. The world is not what it seems. Deadly creatures masquerade as humans living among us. Eric Barrientos is a manguculam, a human tasked to maintain the balance between those who are human and those who aren't. All is well until the body of a young woman is discovered in a city dumpster. As if that isn't bad enough, the woman wasn't human. Suddenly, Eric finds himself caught in the middle of a power struggle among depraved beings, include a vile and powerful creature, one who's never had to face before. Profession and forced to face the harsh reality that sometimes you can't bury the past. There it is. Folks, Aurelio, you've been with us for at least 8 to 9 months, and this is the first time you share that with us. Don't even ask. Don't even ask for forgiveness on this. I thank you. And the reason why he sent me this link is because Nick mentioned the Mananagal. Is that how you pronounce it, Nick? Oh, we lost him again.
There I am.
There he is, back.
Yeah,
Hey.
that looks like a good book to pick up, people.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Hey.
it definitely is.
Roger.
I noticed we don't have. I think that's number 10. What about the Nuno, the Goblin of the Mound?
I believe I'm going to have that one
You're going to have
on my other list right now. I'm going to get that one right
okay.
now. Sean, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Aurelio. This is really awesome. Aurelio, I'm getting the book in a little bit. I just don't want to show everyone on screen that I'm going to do it, but I'll send you the screenshot when I get it. I look forward to reading that.
I'm
So,
going to get that also.
heck yeah. This is the last one. But Josh, you were going to say something, young man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it in chat, but can you send Neoma the link? She said the one that she tried to click on didn't work.
Oh,
She was trying to join us.
I wonder if that's why Greg was not able to do so as well.
The one in the group work, that's the one I used.
Okay, let me see. I don't know if Neoma and I are friends.
Yeah, I wasn't able to send it to her either.
Yeah, I'm not able to find her right away. But that link didn't work. Let me try it one more time. What you need to do is copy and paste it, folks. And it doesn't work on Apple for some reason. So you've got to use, like if you're on an iPad, it's very difficult to link through there. We know there is a problem. So what you have to do is you have to copy and paste it and like put it in quotes if you're using an Apple product. So try that one, please. If not, I don't know if I have your contact information. You can send me an instant message, maybe. But anyway, this is the last one on the top 10 that you may not know about. Oh, there she is, Miss Tejana. Anyway, I was trying to do Miss America, but yeah, I think I would have been good for that one. So, oh, there's Greg as well. Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone. Here we go. We're making it happen. Neoma, why don't you let everyone know in the audience? I believe you've been on the Nightmare Hunter once before, or maybe not. I think this might be your first on the Nightmare Hunter. Times. Oh, I apologize. It's just because sometimes I think the DA's program, they're just the same. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Well, I'm Neoma Finn. I work with a man named Cameron Buckner. He has the Dixie Cryptid channel and the What If It's True channel. Dixie Cryptid is on YouTube. What If It's True is too, but it's actually a podcast, and it can be found anywhere podcasts are streamed. And I am also an active book editor and writer.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us once again. Greg, young man, thanks for getting in. I'm sorry for the issues, pal, but why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
My name's Greg. I'm just a friend of the show. Roger knows me.
I'm sorry, I was trying to take a hit.
I don't really have any professional qualifications to bring to the table. I'm just interested in the topic.
Greg, that means you're overqualified for this program. It's a passion. Maybe
Hi, Josh.
Day, yes, I apologize. Maybe one day Aurelio will be able to join us, but it is in the middle of the day where he's at, so I know he's working. But Aurelio, I mean it. We will work around you. We can schedule whenever, and we would love to talk to you about your book as well. So when you're ready, dude, you're published. Come on. I'm sorry. Anyway, Timu. An ape-like ogre deep in the forest. Yeah. Oh, I think I did read this one. It name means like to chew or always choose. Now, there's a little bit more about when it comes to folkloric beings in the Philippines. I think people always have the tendency to say, I haven't seen it, so I don't believe. Before you fall into automatically dismissing cryptids, I should remind you that in the 1700s, explorers were ridiculed, and we've talked about this, for suggesting the existence of a cryptid like being in Australia. Although they had seen it and the natives affirmed it was real, I'm talking, of course, about the kangaroo. Another instance is when many British scientists deemed an egg-laying mammal with a duck bill and beaver tail as a hoax. However, the platypus turned out to be very weird. And then we also were talking about the billy ape.
Yeah.
That one, we spent a little bit of time on that one. And again, and as DA does it, no, it's the English. They dismiss everything until, they discover it. So,
Roger, I just want to bring something up about the Filipino cryptids and monsters. You see, from Spain, the conquistadors, they were over there in the Philippines, and in order to keep them in line, they told them a lot of stories about monsters so that the people would stay inside the house at nighttime instead of banding together in little guerrilla groups and fighting back against them at the time. So a lot of these have been made up by the conquistadors, but they do have a lot of background to them, and they are interesting stories.
Well, let me tell you, it is florid. It is incredible. The variety is amazing. I'm going to print another one right now, and this is a compendium of about 260 guys.
Wow.
This is crazy. I'm going to see if I can go to the link. I didn't want to show what I was doing on screen because it was kind of lame to be doing the word stuff and whatever. But Aurelio says there's a marsupial-like cryptid in the Philippines called a sigbin. Wow. Oh, by the way, Josh, did you get the reprimand by my cousin?
Yeah, and I was actually going to raise up my phone. Just look, I'm at the dock. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not driving. I'm sitting.
Which is fair. Folks, I'm now adding another link right now. Yeah. Hey, how big is your truck, by the way? Is it an 18-wheeler, a 40-wheeler? What is it?
I have 307 wheels.
Wow, that's impressive.
No, I'm just kidding. I have just a regular day cab semi truck. And I actually only pull a 32-foot trailer, so just a little guy.
Dude, that is big though. That is.
So,
So
Roger, I wanted to ask Aurelio if he knows about
yes.
the Nuno Sapunso.
Yeah, you've brought that up before. What is that? You've
It's
mentioned it.
It's called the Goblin. Well, translated to the Goblin of the Mound. Now, the Nuno, it has it lives in like an anthill type of mound, and anybody that steps on it, they will get either good fortune or misfortune.
There it is.
Ah, there he is. Yeah, the little guy with the one eyeball.
Check that out.
So you never know what they're going to give him. Is going to give him good fortune or bad fortune. And they could have a sudden illness or even death for that matter. So you got to watch where you're going to step on. But generally, they have to. The person has to ask the Nuno, if they can pass through their area. So this way, if they accidentally step on it, they don't get the bad stuff happening to them.
Kind of reminds me of the fairies of like the Northern European cultures a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But this guy has one eye, as you can see.
Right.
Oh, hey, just like you said, they live in termite mounds and ant mounds. Check it out. And this is in Tagalog, so I know I'm butchering it.
Aurelio,
Sapunso. It's literally Goblin of the Mound.
Yeah.
They're forest spirits who live within mysterious lumps of soil, anthills. They can provide a person who steps on their shelter with good luck or misfortune, in some case inflicting harsh punishments to those who offend them. People who are punished are called namatanda and must be brought to an albulario or a shaman to heal the punishment. Superstitious Filipinos, when passing by a mound, will ask the resident Nuno's permission to let them pass with the phrase, Tabi Tabi Po. Strange and sudden illnesses that befall a person are sometimes attributed to Nunos.
Yeah.
And check it out. There he is. Tabi Po, which means excuse me. That is cool. Aurelio, come on, man. I know it's daylight over there for you where you are, but maybe you can join us. Naoma, Greg, any comments so far? This is crazy, some of this stuff, man.
Well,
I think Neoma wants one for her front lawn, one of those things, like one of those.
I do.
Like a demonic garden gnome.
I was just wondering if one lives in the termite mound in my front yard.
Neoma, did your husband turn the air conditioner off? Because you don't have a blanket on this time.
I do have a blanket on. It's right here.
Oh, look at that. He's freezing her out again.
Yeah, and what's really sad? He's in Illinois, so I could turn the air off tonight and it'd be okay.
And he wouldn't know a thing. See that?
He'd actually notice the difference in the electric bill.
Yeah.
I am a tad worried. I have made the mistake. The AC has been running for probably 3 weeks straight.
Yeah. Yeah, we got our
first.
Suck.
This one's gonna suck.
About 2 weeks ago, we got our first air conditioning electric bill, and I had to sit down for a few minutes and have a drink. It hurt.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Aurelio, thank you. He says he's going to join us next time. But look, these are just some of the varied images. And notice, from this article, which I found, there's over 260. And that's why I did post that link again. And I'll see if I can. There it is. It's the aswangproject.com. You can check it out. It's really loaded with a lot of good stuff. This one is very well done. And I appreciate Aurelio the commentary that you know of this. And yes, I did quite a bit of homework on this one. And it's really cool. They have the ABAT. They have the ADA, the Agalan Hayopan. Look, check this one out. This is Aghoy. The East Visayans call them Aghoy. They look like little men and women. Their skin is fair and smooth. They have deep set eyes, blue, green, or brown. They have high noses and yellow hair. Their feet are bare and they dress like villagers. They live in trees near villages. They come into a village after dark. They speak to men in whistles. They make friends with kind people. They give their friends wonderful gifts. They give them magic pots, always full of food. Just, yeah. They give them magic purses, always full of gold. Yeah, I've never met them.
Roger, see if you could
Hey,
find
can somebody send one my way?
Yeah. What was that, Nick?
the Teak Balang. That's the one I just, out of all the Filipino cryptids, I don't like that one the most. And it does look more like a dog man. It's actually a horse-faced beast, and it's just nasty because of the way it propagates. It's
Oh my
God. No, I don't think that one's it though.
no.
Oh no, that is it. Teakbalang.
BAL.
Oh yeah, that's it. Check it out.
Yeah, that I don't like this. First of all, I'm totally against rape, and it's like, these things rape women in order to, produce more of their own kind, and they're just nasty things.
Ugh.
Any excuse to drink out of the horn, Josh.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Now that's funny. He knows this one. That's in the book too, Nick. So he knew that one when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So just very quickly, folks, half man, half horse creature terrorizes women. It's exactly what Nick said before I even read this. Actually, they're summoned by shamans or landlords to secure and protect their house. It has a horse's head and body of a human, but with the feet of a horse. It travels at night to rape female mortals. The raped woman will then give birth to more Tikbalang. They're also believed to cause travelers to lose their way, particularly in mountainous or forest areas. Tikbalangs are very playful with people. I'm sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I was about to say, sounds like a Philippines equivalent of like a satyr almost.
Or a centaur.
Oh, yeah.
Like a centaur, yeah.
I was thinking more like a puck type, like a satyr.
Yeah.
Yeah, do they have the 4 legs or the 2?
I think they have. Oh, good question. I think they have 2 right here.
Oh, so yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of a cross between a centaur and a satyr. That's interesting.
It mentions that they're very playful with people, and they usually make a person imagine things aren't real. Sometimes a Tikbalang will drive a person crazy.
We have
Wow.
mushrooms here that do that.
Nah. Oh,
I
wasn't answering you, Neoma, but I think you got what I meant. I've done that gesture a few times already.
I just had a wild
driving people
idea.
crazy. Yeah, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
I wonder if a lot of these little goblin type cryptids might be relic populations of Floriensis.
Okay, go on.
The so-called real hobbits.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's
They're not too far from there. Weren't they in Indonesia?
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought them up on another show before.
Yeah.
Homo floriensis.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I thought that was Indonesia, like either near Jakarta, somewhere around there. I believe. I don't know. If someone could give me a little help on that one, search for it because I don't want to lose my place here.
You know what's interesting though, and this ties back into what Nick had said about the Spanish coming over and telling stories and stuff. Because a lot of these have European counterparts. You could see the correlation where they could have gotten a lot of these stories. Yeah. You've got fairies and leprechauns and satyrs but slightly different modified versions that have been passed down and changed, but you can see the influences.
That brings up an interesting question. A lot of skeptics really don't put much stock in this. I think one of the strongest pieces of evidence for the existence of a lot of cryptids is the fact that populations of people that had absolutely no historic contact with each other describe the same things.
Like Bigfoot and Native American tribes.
Right.
They all have a very similar history of Bigfoot and Dogman, but they never spoke to each other when those histories were put down.
Well, here's one for you to look up, Roger. Look up the Kapre, Kapre.
Okay.
That's the Filipino version of the Bigfoot. It is.
Oh,
It's so
okay.
funny though, because this one, they say it smokes cigars and it stays up in the mango trees, and it
Okay, fair enough, guys. Hold that thought real quick because check this out. I don't know if you're able to read it or if you're checking it on your computer, and we'll go to that one right now, Nick. So please hold that thought for a moment.
All
It
right.
says since horses only arrived in the Philippine archipelago during the Spanish colonization, thus the borrowed term caballo. There's a theory that the image of a half horse, half man creature was propagated by the conquistadors to keep the natives afraid of the night.
Exactly,
There it
yeah.
is.
There are stories claiming that the tikbalang are actually half bird, half man creatures, much like the Japanese tengu.
Interesting.
You see, the conquistadors did the same thing when they went over to Mexico and South America, to the Incas and the Mayas. They told them a lot of stories. So you'll find similarity there. You got to remember that the Spanish, coming from Spain, they conquered most of the known world, and they were all over the place.
You know what, guys? I'm going to do you wrong again. Here it is. Neoma, I'm going to be sexist. I would normally say you are Johnny on the spot. You know the phrase. You found it. Thank you. It's only because if we're on it, we can stay on it. But then I'm going to go to that one right now. Here it is. She found it. And this is from the Smithsonian National Museum of History. Homo floresiensis. Is that correct? Did I pronounce
Floriensis.
that? Floriensis. Is that it?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And there it is. On the island of Flores in Indonesia. So yeah, the fossils. Okay, remains of the one of the most recently discovered human species, Homo floresiensis, nicknamed Hobbit, have so far only been found on the island of Flores, Indonesia. The fossils date to between 100,000 and 60,000 years ago, and stone tools made by the species date back to between 190 and 50,000 years old. Wow. As you know, they stood approximately 3 feet 6 inches, had tiny brains, large teeth for their small size, and shrugged forward shoulders. No chins and receding foreheads, and relatively large feet. Yeah, right there. No, just kidding. Yeah. Despite their small body and brain size.
More relatives, Roger?
I think so. I really think so. I was only telegraphing it.
I could see the resemblance there, but okay.
Yeah, I think I see it too. What was that good?
He has more hair than you do, though. So
Is that how you want to play? Just because Aurelio likes you now more. That's funny. I love what Aurelio says. He says, Nick is quickly becoming my favorite panelist. And then he says, sorry, Raj. I'm like, dude, nothing changes. Dude, you were one of our first international. We have several international ones. But Aurelio, you always come to play, dude. And we love it, man. We love it. And then my cousin, too. You know, guys, I love the commentary from everyone. But, hija de su madre, my cousin drives me. Hey, he can be your twin, Roger. Yeah.
With a D.
Oh, you got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my lovely cousin. So, anyway, I apologize. That was a good detour or tangent. Nick, which is the one that you wanted me to work on? It started with a C, right?
no, K.
Hey.
Kapre. That's their
Sorry?
Sasquatch.
K-A?
Kapre. Capre.
Is it Caparosa?
No, Kapre. No, so.
Isn't that it right there? Right
Oh.
below that?
There you go.
Looks like
obvious.
Cthulhu.
They're like giants, and they're filthy and nasty, and they love to smoke cigars. So I can imagine their breath. Yeah.
Wow.
There. Right away, Aurelio. Tree giant.
Right.
Copper is a filthy, black, hairy, giant spirit who likes to smoke huge rolls of cigars and hide within the atop large trees, particularly the Galate and Olacacia or mango trees. Nick, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I wonder if they like the Cuban cigars or they prefer the. That's okay.
Actually, it would have been part of the Spanish Empire. Think
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, they might have had Cuban cigars. It's a Filipino Bigfoot. It scares away little children who play at night. If you're stuck in a place and you keep going around in circles, you're said to be played around by a capre.
Yes, but
Escape is control.
I love the way you got to you get out of the whole situation by taking off your T-shirt and wearing it backwards. That is just like the coolest, man. Tell us what you would have to do, Raj.
Well, I was going to say, you guys want to see me lose the audience? Oh,
Good night, everybody.
yeah. Very good, Greg. Aurelius says there are white and black capres. The black ones are the baddies. Oh, okay. That is cool. And folks, and before I said something a little bit earlier. I hope it's not misunderstood when I said this stuff is crazy. I was referring to how much there is. Not that it's crazy or stupid or dumb. I didn't mean that. And the minute I said it, I was like, oh man, I'm going to get hate mail for it.
I took it as like fantastical. I mean, you could say
Yes.
something's crazy because this stuff is out there. I mean, a Bigfoot smoking cigars, that's crazy, but not like in like a bad way.
Where does he get the stuff?
Right?
Does he go to local 7-Eleven? And what happens if they're out of his favorite brand? Then he's going to get mad.
I mean, they almost have black and tans always, or black and milds rather.
Yeah.
Check it out. He says
Terry
we actually did that when they were kids, when they got lost in the woods. He says seriously. They actually did
wow.
Yeah, well, the
They would
question
wear
is,
their
did it
shirts
work?
that. Well, they got out.
Right?
He's here now,
True.
so we're guessing.
Yeah,
True.
Neoma, that is right. So it says they're usually depicted with a cigar as large as a trunk of a tree. Wow. It looks harmless right here, but
Yeah.
It looks like Cthulhu.
He's just sitting down in the tree.
oh yeah.
Can you imagine the size of that creature? Because if he's smoking a stogie the size of a tree limb, my God.
Yeah.
This thing must be about 12 feet. And I guess the mango trees are pretty strong to keep them up there.
Yeah, you know, Nick, I was going to mention that acacia trees, we generally know how big acacia trees are.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine that, and it's up there in an acacia tree, it's pretty big.
Hey guys, I gotta get going.
Okay,
Josh, thank you.
See you guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye, Josh.
If
Hi,
Aurelio is
Josh.
still there, I have a question for him.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yes.
Because my research on this cryptid here, this beast that smokes cigars, I want to know how he lights them. How does he get a light? Does he go up to a human and say, hey, flick your bit?
Hey, buddy,
know
you
what?
got a light?
You got a light. Now, there's also a little bit more in here on the origin of the cigar smoking giant from the Philippines. It's a tree dweller. There's a 15-minute documentary in here, which looks pretty good. It is on YouTube, so it's free.
Oh, nice.
And it says, if you notice the scent of tobacco in the Philippine jungle, see the glow. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading it. There it is.
A Zippo.
Zippo. That's pretty good. If you see the glow of embers near a giant tree, or you feel the eyes of an 8-foot beast upon you while you sleep, it might just be the capre. What is perhaps the simplest creature in Philippine mythology turns out to have a very complicated past. And then they're going to talk about it here. In this episode of the New Creature Philippine Mythology web series, the Aswan Project peels away the layers that comprise the origin, history, and evolution of the capre. So this is cool. It is in there. Folks, I love this website. And when I did, I first found the 10 creatures, the unknown ones. And I did a cross-check with 5 others. And let me tell you, on the 4 for each item, it matched what was on this. And it was really good. The detail in this website is very well done. And as I mentioned, much to my surprise, I knew there were a lot of them. And Aurelio had mentioned to us that there were a lot of cryptids in the Philippines. I had no idea that there was over 260. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
Now, think of this. I'm not sure if you were there, Greg, or even Nick or Neoma, when we were talking about Africa. When Dee and I prepped for the Africa one, we were surprised ourselves And this was our ignorance, flat out. We admit it. We didn't know that there were 241 types in Africa alone. But think about this. Look at Look at this geographically. Look at the size of the Philippines and look at the size of Africa. There are more cryptids in the Philippines.
They all went over there.
Yeah. Josh says, Roger, it would be cool if you recorded episodes for YouTube and do videos like that. Just a creature profile for each video. Well, Josh, let me tell you, we are thinking about this. And I think it's a great idea, Josh. I'm glad you said that. And let me tell you what I was thinking. Everyone that has been joining us, I was thinking of not necessarily giving them homework, but I was wondering if they would want to do like a 10 or 15-minute episode. We would provide you all the material, and you would record the videos. This would be kind of neat.
Hey, Raj, can you put up the site or the name actually for Aurelio's book?
Oh, I will again. Yes.
Maybe put it in the comments over here or something.
Oh, you know what? I think I accidentally closed that one. Forgive me a moment.
Yeah.
I do. You know what? I'm on the Amazon page, but I actually couldn't get. Oh, you know what? Let me see.
Can you copy and paste it into the comment section?
Aurelio, you son of a gun. You have more than 3 books. At the very least, I did find his page. There's his page. It's posting now. You can find him, and since I found his page, I believe I can find that book again. Not the Forgiving Kind, and that should lead me to the link.
That's what it's called, Not the Forgiving Kind?
Yeah, and I do have it now, folks. It just took me a while to get over there. So here's the link for Not the Forgiving Kind. But look it up on Amazon. It is really cool.
Hey, Roger, while you're typing, I'd like to ask Nick a question, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
I want to kind of take a step back out from the specifics of like the Philippines cryptids or this continent's cryptids or that continent's cryptids. And I'm just curious, and of course anybody else that wants to chime in on this is free to. Do you think that the field of cryptozoology, in order to gain a little bit more credibility, needs to clearly distinguish between the mythological and the biological cryptids?
Not really, because I think that you can tell folklore from a zoological creature. I mean, the little tiny leprechauns and things like that, of Ireland, as opposed to a Sasquatch where people all over the world have seen, they call it a Yeti, in Tibet, and, they call it the Sasquatch in Canada, the Bigfoot here in the United States, the Yowie over in Australia. I mean, I just think so many people have seen these things, and whereas the folklore things are all concentrated in that certain country, if you can understand where I'm trying to come from on that. I mean, everybody has their own little, bunch of folklore. So I think there is a way to distinguish between that all. And you got to remember things like the panda bear. The panda was seen 65 years before they finally found a baby panda bear. And they thought that, gee, that there's no such thing. Things, there's like the Komodo dragon. They're like, yeah, sure, there's no such thing. But only on 4 islands in Indonesia can you find the Komodo dragon. And it nearly took them 100 years for somebody to bring one back. Well, they bring 2 back, 2 alive and a couple of dead ones. They brought it back to the United States. So I think there's a delineation between all that. Roger, are these all his books?
I'm waiting for him to confirm. I believe they are. Yes.
Really?
Aurelio, are these all of your books? Because look. Can
you just leave that up there for a second? I want to write down his name here and.
Yeah.
Oh, scroll that down a little bit. That one cover looks cool.
There it is. Yep. There it is. I'm sorry, Greg. Which
No,
one?
that's right. Now it's up at the top. The one with yeah, the one with the face.
That
Wow.
one.
Oh yeah, that one's cool looking.
Josh says, looking at their characteristics, a Bigfoot acts like an intelligent creature, whereas a leprechaun uses magic, or a Bigfoot that smokes cigars versus animalistic dogma. There are distinguishing characteristics that define the difference. Yeah. And, folks, forgive me, if you think about folklore and you think about the belief in these creatures, such as I mentioned maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, the kangaroo, the platypus, and the Komodo dragon, those are cryptids. But people believed in these before science even existed. Wow. Okay, I have to be careful when I say that. Science in the Western world. Okay.
So the reason I brought the question up in the first place is because I used to tangle a lot with skeptics on some of the more dedicated cryptid forums, and that's always one of their talking points is you can't believe any of this. Look at all these fantastic things that people are saying about this, that, and the other thing. I mean,
I,
I
I
just
believe cryptozoology actually existed before science.
Well, a lot of
Isn't
these,
cryptozoology the study of animals that are not proven to exist?
yeah, they have been seen but not proven to exist by regular science. But
Yeah.
a lot of I was on a talk show a week and a half ago, and one of the talk show hosts was really hammering me about it, telling me, "Well, how could you say this?" And this cryptid exists or that one does. And I tried to remind him that my personal mantra is to prove or to disprove that certain cryptids exist. And that's where my boots on the ground field investigation has led me over all the years. And I've found certain cryptids, and I've proven to myself at least, that they're actually hybrid type of animals, or they are actually animals that have been, brought over here from other areas of the world. And something else I told him, because, he's like totally disbelieving. I said, did you ever hear of quantum physics? Yes, he heard of quantum physics. I said, you've heard of the atomic bomb, correct? You've heard of the string theory? If people have heard of the string theory, if you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's proven by physicists that there are particles out there, string, that are smaller than atoms, smaller than neutrons, neutrinos, and electrons, and they're called string. They've proven that they exist, but we haven't seen them. You believe them? You take them for their word? Well, it's written down in books, just like a lot of the cryptids. They're written down in books, and a lot of people have stories about, Sasquatch and groups of Sasquatch attacking miners and campers and the like. People going into Native American burial grounds and being chased by dogmen, for hundreds and hundreds of miles because they stole jewelry from the graves of the Indians. I mean, all this stuff is something as a cryptozoologist I have to prove or disprove, one or the other anyway. But you know what? It's a fun. I want to call it science, and I'm going to keep doing it for as long as I possibly can.
Nick, I don't know if you saw this comment that Josh added to it. He says, but I
No,
think to Greg's point, I think some people calling things like a leprechaun or fairy a cryptid does hurt the field a little bit.
no,
Not everyone does it, but some people
yeah,
do.
I wouldn't call a leprechaun a cryptid. Uh, you gotta. People really have to do their research. Do some reading, people. Not just one book, but do about a dozen books and look up and see why these things were brought about. Why the fairies, the cryptids, why these different types of things in folklore is what I really should be saying were brought up. Grandmas and grandpas and moms and dads have told their children this in order to keep them in line, in order to scare them, so that they wouldn't go far away from their house, during the daytime, and so that they would not go out at nighttime, or too late at night. They would tell them these stories, and they would put the fear of, I don't want to say the fear of God, but they would put the fear of monsters in them so that they would stay close to home. And you got to remember, way back when, a lot of times a child could wander off and just never be seen again. And maybe it wasn't a cryptid or anything like that, or a fairy or anything from folklore that took them. I mean, it's just like nowadays, with the 411 series out there. Why are people disappearing?
Yeah.
Well, I have to be honest with you. Absent with the fear of green fairies in me.
Oh, yeah.
Absence? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that stuff is kind of, I guess, marijuana-like, except liquidy.
Yeah, it's something you either try once and never again, or you get hooked on.
Mm. Well,
I'm
they
not
used,
sure. Oh,
used to use that a lot in alchemy, and I know ladies who are gray witches. I know one black witch, and I know a couple of green witches that use that certain libation themselves so that they can get to a higher mindset, as they would say. I think I'd rather stick to just burning some sage.
I was going to tell you or I'm telling you now as I was scrolling through the images. I'm not sure if you noticed this one, the Mandurugo. Other than what it is, upon seeing the images, I was struck by a European influence.
Well, Drugo, right there.
Yeah, Mandurugo, I guess. Yeah, it's a pretty woman by day, winged monster by night, intermarries with humans, attacks the juggler and a sleeping victim by night, becomes powerless by day, said to live in Capiz. But that's imagery almost from the Middle Ages, and it's almost European in nature. And I don't know if you guys get that. I did.
It's very gargoyle-like.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Very devil-like because of the tongue, the horns.
Yes.
That too.
I was just struck by that. It was interesting. Look at this one. Mankulam. They are witches that cast evil spells that cause harm to human and or plagues. They use a doll, voodoo doll, with a hair strand on it and then cast spells to a curse. Oh, okay. That's pretty consistent. I think there are a few of those not too far from where I'm at. Actually, they might be a little closer to where you are, huh, Neoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah, just a bit. Hey, Greg. By the way, where are you? Where are you in the world, young man?
Southwest Missouri.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then, of course, Josh, who's watching, he's in Ohio. But anyway, yeah, folks, when you check, see now, look, check this one out. Marcupo. It's a large snake with prominent red crest, long tongue with thorn-like hairs, sharp tusks, and forked tail. It dwells in mountaintops. I could see this as something that's local, clearly, as opposed to that other one that I mentioned. Check this. Matanda Sapunso. And I believe this is the one that you were talking about, wasn't it, Nick?
Oh, let's see.
Or no, actually, this is a similar
No,
one.
that's a different one. The other one that lived in the anthills.
Yeah, it was much smaller, but check it out. Lives in a tree or termite mound, steals pretty girls from villages, and offers jewels or gold for them to live with him. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
This is just the native billionaire, in other words, right?
Yeah, what am I going to
Yeah,
do with
it's all
that?
culture.
You should ask him. What am I going to do with all that money hanging out
Yeah.
at your nasty place?
Minokawa, a large bird said to feed on the moon where there are no other sources of food around. Wow. But
That
folks,
looks more like a dragon to me.
yeah, yeah, Mikokawa. Oh, here it's Minokawa, and down here it's Mikokawa. So I'm not sure which one it would be.
The male and the female version.
It could very well be. That's the one that we were talking about a while ago. Yes.
My little buddy.
Yeah, no. It is immense, folks. We could. Oh, here it is. Ha ha ha.
Swamp
Hanging out in
Thing.
my termite mound.
Swamp
Like a
Thing.
boss. Oh, which one? What's that? The Pugo? Headless, shape-shifting creature, usually that of a black, gigantic headless ghost, can move at great speeds, feeds on snakes and insects, usually harmless to humans.
Nice
They
head.
said it was a friar of Spanish era, beheaded once and still searching for its head. Is that a commentary on the belief system? I wonder. No shot directed at anyone, folks. I was just trying to be smart. There are many, many others. Check this one out. Wow. Ugly man with curly hair and long nails. Well, that's not me. No doubt about that. Lures boys wandering the woods by assuming the likeness of their father. Feeds them worms. And is thwarted by red pepper. Also said to be spirits inhabiting caves, cliffs, and dangerous places. And who also impersonate family members. Wow.
You see, that's why I carry that bear spray with me, red pepper.
Yeah. There are many folks.
Oh, this one is lovely.
Yeah.
This ogre-looking thing here is absolutely lovely.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Lord of the Rings. A red-complexioned earth spirit lives in ballot trees, keeper of animals. Okay, yeah. It's so many, folks. There's over 260. For us to go over all of them, just flat out impossible. But I wanted to give a taste. I wanted to go over. I know we spent a little bit of time. I'm so thrilled, and I thank you for Aurelio for still being with us right now. He was one of the first ones to ask, hey, when are we going to go visit the Philippines? And we said, well, we're going to get there, but it took us forever to get there, and I feel bad about that. So, Nick, is that you right there? Are you in?
I keep getting zipped out of the door.
Whoa.
Okay, how about now?
A little bit better. No, not good.
Okay, I'm going to have to... Okay, yeah.
How's that?
I think a little better. Oh, we still hear the echo.
Somebody's got multiple channels open at the same time.
Yeah, I think...
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, actually, it might be gone now. Okay, it might have been just part of that delay. Aurelio says, maybe one of the reasons there are so many creatures is because there are over 100 Philippine dialects.
Wow.
It could very well be.
I guess that's what happens though when you live in basically a group of very small islands.
Over 7,000 islands, man. That's crazy. It says, so maybe a lot of it is the same creature, but in a different dialect. That's interesting.
Most likely, yeah.
Aurelio, in the Philippines, how many official languages are there? I've got to believe Tagalog has to be one of them. But, being ignorant as I am, Spanish may be one. I don't know. That might be my arrogance. So the first one is the ignorance and then the arrogance. So I'm sure it'll take a few seconds for him to respond to us right now. Guys, quickly, how many are you betting on? How many official languages?
1,000.
Official.
Didn't you just say 100?
No. No, he said 100 dialects, but how many official languages?
Oh, official language.
I just threw out 8 of them. Just.
I was thinking 7.
I'll say a dozen.
Neoma?
I
just
said
throw
7.
a number out there. Yeah, we all struck out by 7, by 8. We have a national language, Filipino. Oops. I should have known that. I only have so many Filipino friends. Jeez. I blew that one. I should have known that one. Damn, I'm embarrassed. Bummer. All right. Well, folks,
Trick question.
Yeah, go ahead. You have another one, or did I fall into that one? Well, folks, there he is, Aurelio, a friend of this program, this network. You can check him out right there. Quite a few books. I know I'm going to read the one that he recommended to us.
According to this, there are 2 official languages.
Oh. And
Wow, he's got a zombie book?
Yeah.
Man, he's going to catch up to DA with all these books. Woo.
What are the official languages, Neoma?
Filipino and English.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah. And we'll see if he has a comment right there. But yes, he has quite a few books. So Aurelio, if English and Filipino, it's a question mark. Yeah. Well, that's what we have. You know, everything's true on the internet, Aurelio. Don't give us attitude. You know how it works. Just kidding, young man. I'm being stupid right now. But by the way, what was I going to ask you? Aurelio, are the books connected? Is it a universe? Are they standalone? Let us know. And if so, what would be if we were interested, what would be the first book to get in on? I know you recommended that book to us, Not the Forgiving Kind.
Oh.
Okay.
Roger, I have a question.
Shoot.
Aurelio, if you can hear me,
he can.
Can you somehow try to locate a book or two on the Filipino martial art of Dumog? D-U-M-O-G?
What is that?
It's a martial art.
It's a martial art that the Filipinos developed, and I've studied it somewhat. I would have loved to have some more books to do more studying on it, however.
Yes, there is. He's asking. Yes, that's it, right?
Yeah. Do you know of any books and where I might be able to get them, Aurelio?
He says, sure, I can try. So there it is.
Thank you. Excellent.
That'll be cool.
Well, guys, speaking of books, I really need to get back to working on mine. Thanks for having me on.
Greg, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, young man. Good hunting, young man. All right. Well, folks, he says I can ask around. He'll let you know. That is really cool. Appreciate that, Aurelio. That's the price for joining the family. You know, got to do things like that.
No, this is excellent. I'm able to have somebody to network with to be able to find it. I cannot find it anyplace. I know Amazon absolutely doesn't have anything.
Wow. All right. Fair enough. Well, folks, look, we've done very well. I set out to do what I was going to on the Philippines, and I'm sure we might even visit a few others. But, Nick, this is what I told you what happens. We prep for the program, we talk about it, and if we jump to other stuff, we talk about it and then we come back. But I think we're at that point that I've covered it. I really went and got what I wanted to do. Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight?
Well, we have to off the air let Naomi in on what we were talking about yesterday. Roger.
It looks like it's going to happen, Neil. Yeah, we'll leave that hanging right there. We think it's going to happen. Actually, what I'll do is, Nick, if you don't mind, would you leave a comment in the private chat? Then she'll have an idea what we're talking about. And that'll be good. But, there's probably going to be an announcement within the next month or so, which we're looking forward to, something like that. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's all good.
So only we could see the private chat?
Only the three of us. Yep.
Okay.
Whoever's in with us. So it's all good. So I got to tell you, it's been good. How's the weather where you guys are at right now? Because it's still rather warm over here. Actually, it's dropped to 81 now, thank goodness.
We're at 80 degrees. Yesterday we had a horrible rainy day, and I guess that dropped everything.
Oh, man, I would love rain right now. Jeez. We ain't getting any.
75 here.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Cold.
But the sun's already down over where you're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I just had vestiges of proof that there was a day today. It's kind of gray outside. I could probably still read, but it's starting to get dark now. It is. But it is really good. You know, I knew Aurelio had a few books. I didn't know he had that many. But as he said, they're all standalone, which is cool. Doesn't matter. and he just writes a lot of different stuff. Neoma, you have books as well, don't you? Would you?
Not that I've published, no. I have one right now that I'm working on that I probably will try to publish, but I'm actually uh oh, absolutely, by the way, Nick. Absolutely I can do that.
Yeah.
Um
Aurelio, it is not has nothing to do with sticks. Actually, I can give you a little bit of it. It would entail a smaller person moving a larger person by, say, grabbing them at the elbow area or the hip area and shoving them or pulling or pushing. It's a hand to hand art. It's no weapons.
hmm.
But anyway, back to what you were saying. I'm sorry. I've just got so excited that he might be able to find something out.
No,
No,
that's
it's.
fine.
I,
I just wanted to throw in, since we have a little bit of a blank moment, Cameron Buckner and I, along with Nance from Buckeye Bigfoot, are going to be in Gatlinburg this weekend at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival. So
Uh-huh.
if anybody happens to be in that area, stop in and see us.
I have one of my admins that's going to be there, so
Cool.
I'll tell her to look you up.
Good. Do that. So yeah, I had planned, I had originally hoped that I would have my book finished and published and ready to take with me, but I'm struggling with a couple of chapters that I just can't get straightened out. So
it
Can
happens.
you give us a hint about what it's about?
it's well, actually, it wouldn't quite fit in there. It's about um, cryptozoologists who they think they're cryptozoologists. They're actually quite amateurish. There's two
Oh,
girls.
another story about me? No, just kidding.
They're
Just
girls.
kidding, Naomi. Oh wow.
They end up in a cabin with two older gentlemen who are very serious and well versed on the subject. A retired sheriff and his retired deputy, and a serial killer,
Oh,
and they're
nice.
trapped in the cabin by Bigfoot. So,
Oh, Bigfoot's not letting him
or not,
out.
I'm sorry, not Bigfoot, Dogman. So yeah,
Ah,
the serial killer has been unwittingly um, feeding the Dogman his victims, and
oh, nice
yeah,
guy.
so yeah, it goes from there. And I'm struggling a little bit with a couple of chapters that I just don't feel are right. And once I do and I get them done, then it'll have to go to an editor because nobody can edit their own work. And then I'll format it and have a cover artist do a cover for me. And at this point, I'm hoping. Well, I worked on it today. I'll work on it the rest of the week. I'm hoping to have it done by the 1st of August and hopefully ready for publication by the middle of August.
Oh, good.
So it's nothing. I warn you right now. I'm not near the writer that DA is, or it's.
Some writers are
Um,
just quick. I want to interrupt real quick because I don't know for how long we're going to have Aurelio. But Aurelio, let me show you my screen, pal. There it is. The forgiving kind. There it is. I got it. Oh, look. And from one writer to another, Neoma slowly and surely wins the race.
yeah.
So, Aurelio, I just want to let you know, I should have done this earlier, but I got that one. And I'm going to be reading more, but I'm looking forward to reading that book. So, I'm in. So, yeah. No, it's good, man. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to talk about it on air one of these days.
Naomi, have you taken some time off from it? 2 or 3 days to just not
Yeah.
even think about it?
When I get really, really frustrated with it, I go grab a couple of emails from Cameron's Dixie Cryptid, and I do those, and they relax me. And I took all of last week off because I was editing DA's book. So I do step away from it on occasion. And I know last night when I woke up in the middle of the night with with dialogue in my head, I knew it was time to get back to it. That's kind of my cue that okay, my mind's straight, do this.
Yeah.
So I could never do. I don't know how DA can say, okay, I'm going to have a book written in 8 weeks. I can say that, and I can say, okay, I'm going to write so many thousand words a day, and today I might write 1,000, and tomorrow I might write 8,000, and then the next week I might not have anything to say. So
Yeah, he's amazing. He does a lot of boots on the ground research of the areas that he writes about. He
yeah,
involves a lot of people that he knows personally, a lot of restaurants, a lot of his cryptid research is impeccable from what I can see. Because I don't know if you were involved in the Nightmare Hunter one. Is that the one you're talking about?
yeah, the one that that he's just about to publish. That was the one I
Right,
edited.
right. I did the forward for him on that book, and I, I kept asking him for more, and he would do another 3,000-5,000 words. I mean, the man is amazing, but he has all his research there. He's like the Tom Clancy of cryptozoology.
Yeah,
Well, as a matter of fact, in the second interview that I did with him, I think you heard this story. I referred to him, number one, I referred to him as the heir because I believe Tom Clancy had stopped writing or had passed away.
Yeah,
And I told him, "You are the heir to the techno thriller." And he was stunned. By the way, Nicola Kenny, thank you for the like. We salute you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're up to
what are you
13.
up to now?
We're up to 13.
Oh,
But I do want to say that I also referred to him as the Stephen King of the Ozarks.
yeah,
Over the years, it happens that DA said that in other interviews, they introduced him as the Stephen King of the Ozarks. That blew me away. But anyway, I apologize, Nick. It was when you said, Tom Clancy. Yeah, from the very beginning, he had what, and again, I'm sorry if this comes across as sexist, but he had all the toys for boys in his books, and it's just the war making stuff and the way the operations take place. He spoke the lingo. A lot of that was because of the job that he had. But
right.
most boys growing up play whatever, army,
Played Army, yeah. We
backyard.
all did.
We just do. We did it with the green little army men that are in Toy Story, and we did it with our friends. We did it in the playgrounds, we did it in our backyards, we played army for some reason. And it's almost like his books are playing army again.
Oh yeah.
They're incredibly detailed, and there's actually a story there, by the way, which is really cool. There was a comment by someone on one of his books, which I was really taken aback by it, but it was a fair comment. It was a rather long comment.
Really?
It wasn't very positive. I'm sorry, Nick.
Really? I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't.
it wasn't very positive, but it was almost what I'm saying, but in the negative. I think they refer to it as an NRA campaign, or it's just like, dude, if you want to know how to get this type of weapon to do this, this is just like the ultimate. I forget what he referred to it as, but he said this is just like a gun fest. That's all it is. And I was a bit disappointed by that because I didn't think it was. It's obvious that he does have his likes and he can stick to them. Big deal. He has favorites. You know, when we all tell a joke, we either tell them with clowns or without. We all have our favorites, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing applies to him as an author. Authors have phrases, actions, and things that they just keep. But I thought it was negative, but I thought it was a real commentary. The person had read it through, and they were disappointed based on the militarization. I think so. They
yeah.
just
But at the same time, you have to ask: did they not read the back cover because this involving military people in his books? You know, what are they? Both of my sons were in the military. My dad was in the military. My brother was in the military. Two of my nephews were in the military. They all learned how to play with guns.
Yeah.
Most of them knew how when they went in, but I mean, I can't imagine any kind of a story like that with characters like that. It's like, saying, I can't imagine Clark jumping up and say, "Oh, gee willy golly," golly willikers or whatever. It's part of the. It's
I
just
mean,
part
these
of
are
the landscape.
military professionals doing a job that they have been slated by the government to do, and they've been given the hardware to do it with. Now, if you're
Oh,
going after a Sasquatch who's 12 feet tall, you got to remember that his bone structure is going to be like super thick. And you're going
you
to
know
be
what? I apologize. This review was for one of the Ragnarok books.
Ah,
the Ragnarok ones?
Yeah,
Okay.
one of the original ones. I apologize. Because right now, when you went into that, I'm like, oh, no, no, no. It was for either the first or second of Ragnarok books.
I
So,
haven't read
so we're
those,
still
so I
talking
can't say
about,
anything.
the end of the world here, and they're trying to get all the firepower they can to protect themselves against the zombie horde and whatnot, and every other thing that was attacking them.
Yeah.
I agree, Aurelio. People do that. It's
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I've read books that I dislike, and I forget. We were doing a program, and I don't know who was in the chat room, but we were talking about Star Trek books, and we both referred to the third book, and we were both disgusted by it. We weren't disgusted by it, but it was terribly disappointing. In the entire book, there were like two lines that made me laugh. That was it. But hey, the book is published. The author, kudos to that author. I did not leave a negative review. I did a review on it. I did comment that I thought the story was a bit bland for my tastes, but I did say something to the effect of, "It's your call," and I was a tad disappointed by it. It's very rare whenever I rip someone big time. It's not worth it. I don't think I've ever come across a piece of crap. I've
You
been
know,
lucky.
guys, I buy a lot of my stuff through Amazon. It's just
Yeah.
more convenient. I buy a lot of books from Kindle. A lot of hardcover books, a lot of products, and instead of leaving a nasty, review, I'll just say it wasn't for me, or I may not leave a review at all. And a lot of the times, if I can't give them a 4 or 5 star review, I'm just not going to leave a review. I know it doesn't
Oh
help.
yeah.
I know it doesn't help anybody if I really felt it was a 1 or a 2 or I returned it, but I'm not going to down the person. But you know what I find? A lot of people, instead of talking about the product, they talk about something totally ridiculous, like, oh, it didn't come for 2 weeks. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the way that sports shirt fit me. Nothing to do with it at all. What you got there?
There it is. It's in my Kindle library.
You got it already.
Not the forgiving kind. I know it's a little blurry, and I think it's because of the cover that I have on my iPad. But there it is, Aurelio. I got it, man. Not the forgiving kind. Oh, and by the way, I'm on 19 weeks in a row on my reading. For those of you that have the Kindle, you know what that is. And actually, it's not even my Kindle; it's my iPad right here. But Aurelio, I've got it, and I have to read the DA books, and I'm gonna have to read yours right after the one that's about to debut. I've deliberately not read this book yet.
Really?
Really?
I've
Oh,
stayed away from it because
Yeah, I
I don't
haven't
know.
figured
It's
out
just it's
yet. But
odd, guys. I'm in an odd position here, folks. I really am.
oh, I think you'll
I think
like it.
you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
I think so. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's. And do you know what is really cool? I thought about it when you said that you were helping him out with the editing, and Nick had mentioned to me earlier off camera that he had done the forward, and then he mentioned to you that he did the forward. I'm thinking over here as a third wheel by saying, and it's about me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not a third wheel.
Yeah, it was just it's funny. I had no idea that I really affected him that much. I know he has said the stuff that he did. I am eternally flattered. I had conversations with him early on, and you guys have probably already heard the stories about this. But I didn't think that I had any say whatsoever. But I found out later. He admitted. He says, "Yeah, Raj, you helped me frame the story," and I had no idea. I had no, and I enjoyed it. You guys all know that somewhere in the second book, he had mentioned, "Oh, Raj, it looks like I'm going to have to do the 4-book series." And then he's, "Oh no, I think it's going to be a 5-book." He says, "And you know, in the 3rd book, I have to do this because this is how." I'm like, "Oh no, wait, stop!" And he told me the story, and I was like,
To be honest with
one thing you should not have told me. I told him that, but I was able to put it out. But I'm sorry, Neil, I cut you off.
that's okay. I was just going to say, to be honest with you, when you're editing, it's not the same as reading the book. So even though I know everything that happens in it, I will actually look forward to sitting down and just reading it and enjoying the book, because when you, as an editor, you go word, by comma, by period, by line, by paragraph, and you have to kind of string things up from a great big O to a little lowercase d and run them across the line. But it's not the same as reading a book. So I'm actually looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, Roger, as I told you, I also helped him edit the book. And as soon as it comes out in Kindle, I'm just going to buy it that way, because I want to read it from beginning to end again. Even though I do have everything on my other computer, it's going to be fun reading it in my Kindle. He just keeps you engrossed in it, and I'll tell you, it was a good one. He's probably going to do a 10 series on that one. It could be never ending with Roger on that one. Could be a never ending series.
Well, if I keep giving him material, as I read myself in the books and every little thing, there were things that I was stunned that I told him as like a story within a story of it within a story, and he kept that, like the Jeep Liberty.
Yeah,
okay? I drive the Jeep Liberty, and I guess I rent it all the time. I told him that I rented a Jeep Liberty once, and I loved that little thing. I had it for 3 days, and I had to return it on a Monday, but I woke up Monday morning, and a bunch of punk kids came by, and they egged the Liberty.
Oh, no.
But the only thing that saved me was that it was a cool morning. So I was able to wash it off. But it was, if you look closely, it was.
So you didn't buy the Liberty then?
No, I had rented it for the weekend because we went somewhere.
You're renting them, yeah.
But I told him that it happened. I only told him that story once. That was it. And that's the vehicle that I rent.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something about the Jeep Liberty, though. I used to own a 2003 Jeep Liberty. I just gave it away to a fellow, a veteran, who was really down on his luck, and he needed a car. And I just picked up the H3 Hummer, and I didn't have use for another, 3 cars. The thing had 280,000 miles on it. It actually still ran very well. The only problem with it was the air conditioning wasn't, blowing out cold air. I gave it to this gentleman for free, and his nephew fixed it for him, so at least he's able to use it.
Wow.
This Jeep Liberty is indestructible. The paint never rusted. It's a 2003, never rusted.
Wow.
I mean, it was a fabulous car. If I could have found another one, I would have picked it up. But I came across the H3 Hummer, which is what we're going to use for LBL Tennessee, and we're all ready to go.
Yeah. Yes, Neil.
Speaking of that, I'm going to drive up and have lunch with DA on the 30th. Or dinner, not sure which. Oh, sorry.
I'm just going to tell you right now in front of the whole audience, I'm not putting dates out there because I'm getting a lot of people, strange people that I do not even know. They're inviting themselves, so that's why I didn't put a date. And I'm not going to put a place up. DA will know the place, and he will know the time. and the date that we're going to be getting together. But I just had well over 36 people invite themselves, and we can't possibly protect everybody if they need protection. You know,
Well,
from
my understanding is the day I'm going to be there is actually not going to be the day it's happening. He's either hanging out or coming early to be with me, or
Right.
maybe it's the week after. I don't know, but I was going to ask if well, I won't because we're on an audience and I don't know if the dates are matching. But
No sé qué es lo que le hice. No entiendo por qué me hace estas cosas. Hija de su madre. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh, by the way, which is funny, Patty. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Just letting you know, Nick. I can't make it.
come on, you coming?
Oh, that's funny. But his comment earlier, I believe it was about the Liberty and what you did. I think that's exactly what it was. When he said, Nick, that is awesome. And it is. It's really kind of you for doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the meeting time, and we're going to do daytime, nighttime, and possibly another daytime after that. Then we're going to move on to West Virginia, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and we're going to go to the Mothman statue. We're going to go to the bridge that collapsed. They rebuilt it since, and we're also going to go to the dynamite factory, the TNT factory, where the Mothman was originally seen. So we're going to make a little circle there before we go back home.
well, I really don't think I have my date right, to be honest with you, because that's not what I understood from DA.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you guys will be able to check it out on there. Look, I do have to put a call out for help right now, folks. I'm going to put this on record, on video right now. My cousin and I are going to go to one of those axe throwing places. So I want you to know now, I'm going there with the best of intentions.
What is it? What?
An axe throwing place.
Oh, axe throwing.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't know this, but Matt Roper, and I thought it was so cool. We were doing our sports program on Saturday, and I wasn't completely familiar with Matt, but he posted while we were doing the program and live from the Atlanta Regional Finals, the axe competition, and I posted that. And I was like, "Hey, this is cool." And then after a moment, I'm like, "Hey, I know that guy. He's there right now." Like a bonehead, you know. So I thought it was very cool. But Matt really competes on that. He does very well, and it's really cool that he's put out something. And I'm going to share with the audience that if you have video of you competing at, she loves that word mental. It's kind of like dumb or stupid or whatever.
I always laugh because of the Mensa Club.
Yes. So you know
Why
what
did
it
they
is.
pick that word?
You know what? Because it's actually, some people get offended by the word, but it's really rather harmless. It's almost a term of endearment. I mean, saying mental is almost like blockhead, something like that. So, but yeah. But I think mental is a little lesser than that because some people can really get pissed off over pendejo.
Yeah.
But it's okay. There turns out that if you do searches in your neighborhoods, they're all around you. And I said, where am I going to go find a professional place to throw axes? Turns out there's one right here in the city of Pomona.
There's one right here in Nashville.
Yeah. Oh, you see, pendejo is much worse. Yeah. So at least my cousin and I agree on that. So the deal is, Matt is saying that if you have a picture of you competing or just throwing an axe, either at a professional place, backyard, whatever, you know, throwing one at a dog or a cat, you know, as long as you don't hit the dog or cat. However, he's going to be offering a prize to the one that wins, where he's going to create an axe and engrave it and offer it as a prize, which is really cool.
Cool. No
Yeah, we
way.
have like 3 axe places within a 7-mile radius of where I live in New Jersey. It's amazing.
Hi, Pam. That's your first comment tonight, is it, Pam? Yeah. Thank you, Pam. So there it is. There is one here in Burleson. So you guys need to check State of the Nerd, which will be on this Sunday, and they're going to talk about the additional details on it. I should have asked Matt or even Josh, but this is cool. He's going to go ahead and engrave it to the person who wins. Always asking his pictures. I don't know if he even wants video, but it'd be kind of cool if you sent video. But the point is, folks, I'm going with the best of intentions with my cousin.
Wow.
I love my cousin, and she claims to love me. But if I have, if I suffer from that Indian prairie disease, it wasn't by choice.
Mm-mm.
The head and shoulder stuff, scalp.
I just hope that they have professionals over there to show you how to do the whole thing.
You see? Look at that. I'm not. Flat out. I'm not. Oh, Patty, what? Seriously, you got to join us, Pat. Actually, like I said, everyone and anyone, if you want to join us, it would be fun. And I really appreciate my co-hosts today, Neoma and Nick. I'm so used to having like the other souls with me regularly. Number one, DA, and if not, Thomas or Dream. Oh, hey, we got another light. And that was Pam Roberts. Thank you, Pam. So we're up to 14, and it is cool. So if you guys have any questions for us or any additional comments, let us know. We're good right here, right now, and we're just having a wonderful conversation talking about all this stuff right now. Before I ask you for some other intel, Nick, that you might be able to tell us on, Neoma, how's everything going in figuratively and literally in your neck of the woods? There's been a little bit of activity.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the peppers, the cayenne pepper all over the side of my house, and I haven't had any bangs or knocks, so let's hope that worked.
How long ago did you put the cayenne pepper?
Well, I have to keep redoing it because it's rained almost about every other day, so
Oh, so yeah.
I keep going out there, and the people at Walmart think I really love spicy food right now.
Hey, that's all right.
I actually do really love spicy food, so it works out for me.
And yes, she can. Nick, did you get that one?
Yes,
Nice to meet you, Nick. You're pretty savvy. Yeah.
You too, Patty.
Yeah, she's. But you know what? I'm lucky. Actually, she doesn't know.
Oh,
We all know what's going on. Neoma, please. I'm sorry, Patty. It wasn't meant to be that way. There's a little bit of a story. She'll tell you right now.
We use that quite a bit ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's not a big exciting story. My husband works out of town 2 nights a week, and it never fails on the nights that he's gone. Something hits the side of my house. It taps on it, usually about 2 or 3 times throughout the night. Never happens when he's home. Hasn't happened since I think, Nick, you were the one that told me to get the cayenne pepper. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And I went out and I just threw it on the walls of my house. And then after it rains, I go out and see if I have to do it again, and I usually do. But I haven't had any tapping or anything like that, so hopefully that was enough. I just watched an interview with, oh gosh, I can't think of his name. He used to be an outlaw. Anyway, he was talking about using, it's a big Jewish horn to call them in. And I was watching it before the show came on, and I kept thinking, I got to hit silence if he decides to play that thing, because I ain't doing anything to bring those bad boys around here. He never did play it, thank goodness. It's can't think of it. Tim Baker is his name. But anyway, it's a big Jewish sort of like, it's made from
like the Horn of Jericho. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the Horn of Jericho.
Right.
And it's made from a special African antelope or something. And I just kept thinking he can't play it, because if he does, I'm turning this off, because I am not bringing those things in.
No, not at all.
Neoma, did you see the question from Aurelio?
Does it irritate my sinuses? No. Sadly, I could probably bathe in cayenne and it wouldn't bother me. Everything I cook, I put cayenne in. Everything. I put cayenne on my eggs. I just
However, because the Sasquatch and dogmen have senses that are 40, maybe 50 times stronger than ours, just like a dog or a wolf would have,
yeah.
that really irritates their eyes because they can see in the nighttime with the eye shine and all that.
Hmm.
Look up that, folks in the audience, and you'll see there's a lot of science behind it. And
I've
also the
noticed
naval passages.
I've noticed a lot of the neighborhood dogs quit coming around too.
Oh,
Kind
I
of
was
weird.
about to ask both of you on something like that because I have an issue. It's unfortunate, but because I rolled over, they're hitting my yard. And I'm tired of it. And just to be the nice, stupid neighbor, I'm letting it go. And these dumb, immature bastards bring their dogs and do the necessity. And they have the nerve to say, oh, well, it's not only my dogs, they're your dogs because they're the ones that I see. But I was told vinegar will work,
The
but
problem is the vinegar is going to get absorbed into the soil right away. The red cayenne pepper will stay on the top; it'll float. So if you put it along the all of the grass where you are, it should stay there for quite a while.
Yeah.
so seriously, the cayenne pepper.
Even cayenne pepper when I go axe throwing.
Yeah, thanks, Patty. I appreciate it. But by the way, Mr. Miller, thank you for joining us, and also for the like. Haven't seen you in a bit, Mr. Miller. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. We salute you. We're up to 15 likes.
Mr. Miller, here's one for you.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Now, this was Patty's comment for about 4 or 5 minutes ago when you were talking about what's out there. All right, she says she would not have gone out alone.
Well, to be honest with you, I I have three fears, and only three fears. The only three things I'm afraid of are spiders, heavy traffic, in the dark. The only time I'm not afraid of the dark is outside, and so it just didn't occur to me to be, afraid. Honestly, I even as I was putting the cayenne pepper on the side of my house, I was thinking this really isn't, but I think this is. This is just me overreacting. But I have to admit, it stopped happening. So now I'm like, maybe I wasn't overreacting.
Mm.
We put 3 coffee cans worth around the lady over in Highland, New York, around her house, just to stop it from happening because they tore apart a very well constructed garbage area that was enclosed,
Oh
both
yeah,
on
you
the
said
sides
that.
and across the top, with
Yeah.
metal and everything. And the creature that ripped that apart must have been tremendously strong, but they haven't come back yet, so
Yeah.
not too bad.
I
And
really was asking. Sorry, Neoma,
that's
about
okay.
that. Won't that hurt the yard though? Will it kill the grass, the pepper, the
No,
cayenne?
no,
No.
No.
no, it will not kill the grass.
The
As a matter
vinegar
of
would do more damage to the grass.
as a matter of
The
fact,
vinegar will. Yeah.
yeah, the vinegar because of its acetic base. But the cayenne pepper, and I'm going to say a matter of fact again, I had a little garden growing up in another section of New Jersey where I lived several years ago, and the deer and the rabbits and whatnot, everything would come in there and they would eat all the fruits and they would eat all the tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff. And even though I had it fenced in, so what I did was I started lacing it with the pepper, and I'm going to tell you, I just had crop after crop after that, and they didn't touch it.
What will this keep? Because obviously those rat bags, because that's what they are. I'm not going to use a swear word because that's all they are. And I was going to say one time because I died laughing at my neighbor because she treats them like they're her little kids. And one time the dogs left their necessities, and one of the dogs picked up and took it back, and I yelled at her. I'm like, that's the one that licks your face. It
Oh
is
my
a
God.
hostile arrangement. But anyway, oh, I died laughing. I wish I would have had the video because I was like, and I was loud. The entire neighborhood heard me. Oh, excuse me, Nick. You would have been impressed. You would have known that I could speak to a room full of 3,000 to 4,000 people as well. When I was Nick made a comment to me. He says, "I believe with my voice, I would be able to speak to, in a room, I could speak to 3,000 without the electronic stuff." So I want to tell Nick, yeah, I could do the same thing, pal. The entire neighborhood knew, but I'm just bragging because I was mad. But I cut
used
you
to
off.
work on a playground in a school when my kids were little, and I was the only teacher on the playground who didn't have a bullhorn or a whistle. Didn't need it. I could draw in every one of those kids from all across that playground with one word.
Yeah, it's tone and direction. Oh God, for goodness sake, Patty! Look, folks. I do have that problem. I'm not going to say I'm a radio professional, but dead air kills the audience. So you have to keep talking. So I apologize. Will it keep my cats away? The cayenne pepper?
It probably will, yeah.
Well,
Are they
I mean,
cats?
I do have a few cats, the survivors. To get into the backyard, there is a fence. So the entire backyard is a secure area. So I know the cats can go all the way around. Yes. Yes. NDB Media started on digital radio, woman. We're still on Blog Talk Radio. As a matter of fact, folks, just very quickly, let me go over the calendar. On Monday night, you have either Monday Night America or the Nightmare Hunter. On Tuesday, you have the radio, Fandom Access. On Wednesday at 4 p.m., you have Travel Talk Radio. At 8 p.m., all times Pacific, you have the Rock and Roll Shrink. He is based out of Miami. On Thursday, you have Travel Itch Radio, which is at 5 p.m. on radio. And then Friday, every other Friday, you have the new program Spoiler Cast. On Saturday, you have Sports Talk with the Guys. Saturday evening, DA-verse. And there may be a change in the schedule. DA may be changing the schedule. So he's not here. That's why I'm spilling the beans. It's possible there's going to be a change in the schedule. We'll see. And then on Sunday, we have All Tower Media, State of the Nerd, and then Jedi Tax Online. And then we come back to Monday. So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on the network. Sorry, Patty. I started on radio. And there went my mouse. Okay, there it is. Sorry. Didn't mean to scare everyone. It's my purple mouse.
Oh,
Jedi Tax. Yeah, all of us.
My favorite color.
And I am thrilled. Thank you. Yes, it's purple is all the mice. All the mice in the office are purple. It matches the Jedi Tax colors, but I'm doing that. Oh, calm down, Patty. Let it go. But yes, that is my glorious cousin who's getting the best of me.
Roger, I don't want you to get hurt when you go there, so I want you to remember two things. When you commit to throw the axe, do throw it and point at what you're throwing at. But do not do this, because you don't want to come down and have it land in your foot. I was at an axe throwing place in Greenbrook, New Jersey, and that's exactly what one of the guys did. And he had it stuck right in his shoe, in his foot, and it wasn't pretty. It bleeds real fast down there.
I bet. I've actually thrown axes when we were in Mexico and Rosarito, just south of Tijuana.
Oh, good. So you know what you're doing there.
Oh, no. I didn't say that. I said I've thrown axes. Now, here we go. He's like, Nick, stop. It will end up in my head. No.
As long as you're not in back of him, Patty. As long as you're not in back of him. Zoom.
I actually love my cousin, as I was saying, that if something happens to me, the scalpy stuff, we know where it came from.
I'm going to Patty, I'm going to send this to Roger, and he can practice.
That's great. That is so cool, though. That really is.
So you must be like pure of heart and all of that, huh? You can pick it up.
I can pick it up, yes.
Yeah, it's still right there on the floor for me.
Oh, both you and I, yeah. I was like, yeah, I can.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
I know my sins.
Yes, I do too. I know my sins, so it's all good. We're getting some really good comments. Let's see. Nick, I was just starting to like you.
Same here, Patty.
Yeah, she's great.
Are you going to friend me on Facebook, Patty, or not?
She probably will. Yes. So you can find them through me, Patty. So it's all good, folks. Like I say, you guys are all part of the family here. We enjoy the fact that you come over and spend time with us. So if you guys would like to join us tonight, you're more than welcome. We are already 2 hours and 10 minutes in, and I really feel blocked. I didn't block you.
You have some cool background going on. What's that about?
I don't know. I'll see. Nick is worthy. Yeah, there it is. Well, who knows? Maybe it might be. Well, who knows? We'll see. I'll help her find you. You know, sometimes she needs assistance. You know, these Facebook terrorists. I was going to say something else, but then I'd lose my entire audience. Oh, Aurelio, hush now. Oh, that is good. So, Neoma was able to explain what was going on. I guess my question was, how long have you been putting the cayenne pepper out for what, 3-4 weeks now?
Yeah, it was the first day.
Yeah.
I went to the store the next day and bought the big economic, the economy size, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I just dumped the whole thing out there. And then it rained the next day, and I was like, crap. I went and got 2 of them, and it didn't rain for a few days. And I just, honestly, I
apologize. Yeah, Aurelio, thank you, young man. It's a pleasure that you've been on with us. You've been on. I know you're in the middle of the day. You're still working, and I thank you. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully, you get some more sales, and I hope you're able to join us one of these days sometime soon. Aurelio, be well out there, and I hope you're not near any of those volcanoes, man, because you've got some active volcanoes out there. But it's 7,000 islands. I don't think
I only need one.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, so what are you playing there with, Nick? What's the little green lighty thing?
Oh, you mean my laser?
Ah, yes, your laser.
Oh, that's the cool background.
Something I take with me when we're out there in the field. Because like I tell everybody, we might as well hit them in all their senses, their eyes, their ears. You know, the same thing goes for these whistles. This is a 136 decibel whistle, and this is a 148 decibel whistle. No, unwrap it. That there it comes with the earplugs of this thing here. So we take everything and anything. Heck, I take holy water with me. I take black salt. I take white salt. Anything I need out there, just in order to get home, just in case something comes out there. We have plenty of air spray too.
Yes, actually, the cayenne pepper's activating it. How interesting. Miss Chef Yoda, sorry, just got in at Neoma. Why did you put cayenne pepper down? This is cool. Hey, this is neat.
I had a little bit of strange activity going on around my house. I had some tapping on the side of the house on the nights my husband wasn't home. And after talking to these guys, they convinced me that it would be a good idea to put it down, I have to accept it was Bigfoot. I live on the edge of the woods. Just really having a hard time saying that. But once I put the cayenne pepper on the side of the house, I don't have any more tapping. So it was effective, I have to admit.
Nick, you showed us several months ago. I think you called them the flashbangs.
Electronic flashbangs, yes.
Yeah. Do you have them there with you right now by chance?
No, I have them upstairs in my vest.
That's cool, man. You got to be ready to go.
It's part of the gear. And I had to charge them up, make sure that I have 100% charge on everything. I have them one on each side here in case I have to use them. But yeah, that would have been great to set one off down here tonight.
Oh, hey, it's all good. You saw her comment. Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see the comment. Sorry.
She said it would scare her.
Yeah. I don't know if you shared with us now the reality of putting the pepper out. I guess you have, but I guess for the audience,
I
you
haven't
re-
had
do
any
you
more activity. I haven't had
okay?
any more taps.
Knowing
And
that, do you really think somebody was out there?
I hate that I have to say this, but I really do think there was something out there. I mean, if there wasn't something out there, I still would have heard it, right? After I mean, it stopped in conjunction with the cayenne pepper.
That's crazy.
So you put two and two together. Now, I'm not going to lie. I believe. I don't even. I believe isn't even a strong enough word. I have seen a Bigfoot. I know they're out there.
You
I
did
just didn't
mention
want one to be by my house.
it.
I really didn't.
Correct.
But it seems like this has been effective. So
That's going to cause them to shy away, and they're just not going to come there. I mean, and just make sure you don't ever drop any food while coming, from the supermarket accidentally and not pick it back up.
yeah,
And you might even want to sprinkle it on around near your garbage can area, not on the garbage cans, but around the area,
we
because
have
they're not going to like that. They're going to be like, nah, we can go to another place.
my garbage can is like 8 miles away, so I'm good. We don't have garbage service here, so once the garbage bag gets full, I tie it up and drive it over to the dump and
Oh wow,
the compressor, the trash compactor.
yeah. Oh, you got
Nick,
a compactor in the house? Yes, Roger.
None.
no, she does. She just fills up
Yeah.
the bag and goes.
Yeah,
Nick, I'm sorry. You had mentioned something about the food issue on the recent call out that you had. Could you remind the audience of what the lady was doing and not telling you? And it
Yeah,
was related to food, right? If I remember correctly.
right. The call out we got was that she was having a problem with dogmen, and this is in Highland, New York. And she kept calling Jody Cook, who is our founder of the NADP. And I mean, 3, 4, 5 times a day. She was also messaging him on Facebook. He finally called me up and he says, listen, I know you don't have any teams available right now, because at the time we had 3 7-man teams throughout the country. They were out. What I did was I got 2 guys, and that goes totally against everything I ever preach or want to do because of safety measures. And we went up there, and we finally got there about 1 o'clock, 1:15 in the morning. And one of my guys got injured because we had a very large log thrown at us. We were looking at the photos, and we saw the eye shine. We measured it. That was one. Did you have a picture of that one, Roger, where it did the comparison of the size of the Sasquatch compared to the regular ones? But anyway, long story short, she wound up telling us, because I told her, I said, there's a reason they're coming around. She wound up telling us that she was putting on a tree stump that was cut down to 3 feet in her backyard. She was putting apples there every day. Every day. And then after a couple of months, she had to leave for like 3 or 4 days because her parents were sick. And she was unable to do that. And that's when her garbage area just got ripped right out. Now, mind you, it's a 42-inch frost line, which means they put these 4x4s to do it was like just think of a fence, a solid wooden fence up against the house. All right, so there's only 3 walls and a door to get in to put the garbage cans. And over the top was chain link fence, thick chain link fence. Her father had installed this. Now, those 4x4s were sunk 42 inches down into the ground. They were ripped right out. All right,
Wow.
There was nothing left there when she came back home because she angered them because she wasn't leaving them gifts anymore. She was leaving them gifts of food, and you don't do that with Sasquatch. And I don't care how expert you are with Sasquatch, you can't deny it. You leave them food, they're going to be PO'd because that's a gift to them. Try to do the same thing with a black bear or a brown bear that's in your area.
I was just going to say, you don't habituate
food outside. They're going to come back, and not only are they going to come back, but they're going to bring their cubs, and they're going to bring their wife, and they're going to bring their cousins. You're going to have bear all over the place. So you don't do that with wild animals. You just don't do it, and not with the. Excuse my ignorance, but what is a dog, man?
Patty
It is
hasn't been
the
here. She's been
scariest
here
darn
solid
creature
for
you've
2
ever
weeks.
seen.
Yeah.
It is the most horrifying thing on the face of the earth.
Well,
I
here's
can't
one
even wrap my
image.
mind around one.
There's an image, and generally they will go
These are variations.
up to about 7'6" and rarely you will get it, but maybe 8 feet, very rarely. And it is not a werewolf. It's in the same shape and form all the time. There are variants, there's different types. What he's showing you here are the ones with the knees going forward. They also have the type where German Shepherd type knees going backwards.
Yeah.
These pictures don't show you anything near what how horrifying one could actually look.
Now,
Roger,
here's
this one.
I'm sorry.
You have this.
I think we had, but it might be under the DA verse one.
Oh yeah.
Let me move on over there real quick. The DA Ex Machina images. Sorry, folks. We're switching our backgrounds a little bit. Because we always change the images because we don't always have enough room. Oh, okay, here we go. Check this out. And Miss Yoda, I think it was, we'll get to you, but just bear with us. This is the one that you were talking about, right, sir? On the side.
The Sasquatch size. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The lady in Highland, New York, and she showed us photos, and we measured it up to the tree. It was the 15-foot one.
Holy cow.
Now, what I want to tell you is that I believe one of the guests that we had on, he went to Alaska, and he found a 15-footer up there also, Roger?
I think so, yes.
I don't think it was Carter. I think it was somebody before Carter.
I don't recall, but I do remember that, yes.
But I want to state to everybody, a 15-foot Sasquatch, Bigfoot, would have to weigh in the area because of the thickness of the bones, 3 to 4 inches thick. It would have to weigh anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 pounds. Now, you do not ever want to meet up with something like that out there. That's an excellent find you guys made on that one, though, Roger.
DA did, and I appreciate that.
Excellent find. I'm telling you, that's.
Miss Chef Yoda says she recently heard of Dogman too. Like I said, Patty, I thank you. I really do. She's been solid with us now for the last 2, almost 3 weeks, catching almost every episode. So she had not caught one of our Dogman episodes.
Do you have the variants photo?
I'll look for that one right now.
I can put this up to my camera, and you can take a look at some of the variants.
I may not have the variants on this one. So let me take this one out. Go ahead.
Did you have it, Nick?
Well, I'll put it up here. I don't know how well you can see it. I'll show you the one. This is the one. This one here.
Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. There it is.
Canine Variant 3 is the one where I was approximately 30 feet away from, and in my encounter back in September 13th, 2013. And that's what got me into not cryptozoology, because I had been into that. When I saw this creature, it was like, what the heck is that? I thought werewolf. I didn't know what it was. And it brought me down the path to Dogman. And that's what I've been studying and chasing down since.
Which one is considered the most aggressive? Like, none of them are aggressive, right?
Well, the Type 3 Variant 2, okay, and the Canine Variant 4. The Canine Variant 4 is the biggest and the strongest.
Wow.
The second biggest is the Canine Variant 3, and it's extremely smart. A rarity is the Canine Variant 2, which looks like a hyena. The two most common are the Canine Variant 1 and the Type 3 Variant 1. Those two have the knees that go backwards like a German Shepherd. The other ones go forward like a human's. Now, if you look at the Type 3 Variant 3, that more so looks like an ape, and it more so looks like a Sasquatch type. And I don't know why they lump that in there, but some people like to say that's a dogman, but that one there generally is a lot larger.
Wow.
But the one I saw, Naoma, is the canine variant 3, and I measured it to a stop sign that it was next to. And I am telling you, we had a tape measure up to exactly where I eyeballed it the next day. 7 feet 7 inches tall.
Holy
This thing
cow.
was huge, and I estimate 600 plus pounds.
Those things are the most terrifying creature on earth to me.
Now, one of my admin in Ohio had a run-in with a canine variant 2, the type that looks like a hyena.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, I guess it was her aura and it just left her alone, but it nearly touched her. And she was on top of a car at the time, on the roof of a car sitting. That's like, must have been terrifying.
I can't even imagine. I wouldn't survive it. My
Now
heart
remember,
would give out.
the two most common are the variant 1 and the type 3 variant 1. Those are the two most commonly seen.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
want to see either one of them.
Now, again, Miss Yoda has several questions, but what is this, Nick?
That's the dire wolf. There's a dire wolf on the top there, the one that's been extinct for 10,000 years. However, up in Minnesota, up in southern Canada, they have had reports of dire wolf, and that's like a prehistoric creature. And then you're going to go down to your regular gray wolf, and I believe that other one is a coyote. It's giving you a size, and
The brown one is a bear, right?
yeah. But you have a coyote, a wolf, a bear, and then the dire wolf.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I want to get back to her comments. Bear with me a moment. Here we
She
go.
was asking
Well,
what
earlier,
who or what we think
yes.
Bigfoot is.
Thanks, Neoma. This is our opinions now. Nick, why don't you?
My opinion is that it is a bipedal humanoid of some sort that never passed on to, like what humans are today. It never developed past what it is. But on the other hand, because I need to think outside the box, and I need to, always keep thinking what it could possibly be. Like I said in the beginning of the program, I did a 6-month search and interview process with well over 350 people, and I'm now up to like 600. I mean, I stopped doing it after 6 months, but I continued it, and I interviewed people person to person on the phone. I read reports of where people who had an encounter with a dogman or a Sasquatch, either before, after, or before and after, also saw a white orb of light in the sky. I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together and say that it could be a UFO, because there's a thing with the Sasquatch called where the footprint ends. And like, you'll see their footprints in the middle of a field, and there's no trees around them for maybe 100 feet all around, and they disappear. Now, it's quite possible that they are part of alien life, maybe put down here. The dogman's the same way. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying this is a hypothesis. But after speaking with and researching well over 600 different cases and encounters, 92% of those encounters or cases, the people did see a light in the sky before, after, or before and after. Now, in my particular case, I had an encounter with a dog man, and after it walked away, approximately 120 feet back into the wooded area, I saw in the sky a white orb. Now, I don't know what it could be. Maybe I'm going to use a word from Star Trek. Maybe it was beamed up, possibly. But is that how we do it?
Close enough, brother. Close enough.
No, I had my pinky down.
You're good.
I don't know. I can't explain it. All I know is I saw in my encounter this creature eating a deer that it had slaughtered. So I know it has to eat. I also heard it walking away. Now the encounter was approximately a minute and 10 seconds, a minute and 12 seconds, but I did hear it walking away because it crunched leaves and it crunched twigs and stuff that was on the ground in the forest area where I was. So it must need to eat, but it disappeared. I came back the next day with a team of 7. We measured it according to the stop sign, 7 foot 7 inches. We checked the area. We couldn't find where it could have possibly went off into. So I don't know. There's a lot of different thoughts on these cryptids.
Neoma, what do you think?
I don't have the experience or the knowledge to really say anything. I've always personally believed they were a great American North American great ape. I believe that they are one of the. I think they're a 5th hominid. There are 4 hominids, and I believe that they're a 5th hominid. I don't know that I believe that they're a hominin. If they are, they'd be one of the 3 extinct, I guess, or considered extinct, but I don't believe that. I believe they're a hominid. There's a lot of biblical reference to the fact that they may be tied to Nephilim. I've not really stretched, I haven't done the research, honestly. I can only throw out theories that other people have said because as fascinated as I am with the subject, I'm contented to listen to people's stories and maybe visit where they saw them, but I've never been smart enough, I guess, to really offer my own theories. So I'm probably not the person.
But Neoma, thank you. I don't think we'd ever asked you that question, and I appreciate my Chef Yoda for that question. And look, I grew up with the $6 Million Man in the 1970s. That was my
I love that book.
Yeah, that was a big deal for a little TV show. Wow, for a TV show,
but you guys got to remember, Bigfoot is here, in the United States. There's sightings all over. There's sightings in Canada, but you also have the Yowie in Australia, and you have the Yeti, the abominable snowman, up in the Himalayas.
They have sightings in
all
Russia
different
and
parts
China.
of the world. They're called by different names, and the Pakwao or whatever that other one was there in the Philippines. That's their version. The cigar smoking Bigfoot. They're all over the place. So they must be some sort of an undeveloped hominid and bipedal and all that other good stuff. I don't believe they're apes. Not at all.
Well, I'm not calling them apes. I'm calling them hominids, which is the 4 great apes, which includes humans, orangutans, chimpanzees, and gorillas. And if you think they're a humanoid, which would be a hominin falls under hominid, so it has to go down that chain. So
thank you, Pam. She's leaving us.
Good night,
Pam.
Good
night to everyone. Of course, my cousin had there's a Yeti at Disneyland. She thought it was funny.
Did she have to do with it?
She may have at Disneyland. Before we get to the other question that she had, and I know I cut you off right now. I'm sorry, Neoma.
It's okay. I was going to answer the other question.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, that's when you gave that time frame earlier, Nick. That was her comment. 1 minute, 11 seconds too long. For me, very quickly, folks, I generally take people at their word, and I'm not going to say that I can smell out a lie, but I've learned through being a shop steward at work and being a tax repairer. I can tell when people are exaggerating. I can tell when people are lying. And when people tell me these experiences that they've had, look, my brother, I've told you, I've been begging my brother to be on this damn program. And he makes my skin crawl. Because I know my brother. My
brothers make my skin crawl too. Oh, no.
Very good. My brother's, he's a good person. There's no maliciousness in his heart. He's not the egomaniacal younger brother. But anyway, he's actually a good person. He's trustworthy, and he tells these stories. The one, I'm not sure if you were there, Nick, when I was translating the story for him, was when he went up into the mountains and he took some of the kids from the youth group. My brother always had either his 38 or his 357 because they would go out into the mountains, way up there here in the mountains. They're just hours away from here in LA. And one night he woke up, or in the morning he woke up, and the pistol was in the tent 6 feet away from him. And one of the boys was halfway out of the tent, still asleep.
Wow.
That's crazy. And it's not like oh my God, a monster story. It's just
that's scary.
That's yeah. How do you explain that? And no one woke up. No one heard a thing. But my brother, he doesn't flinch. Thank goodness. He's not clumsy like I am. So he always knew how to secure his weapon. And I don't think I forget what he would do. I don't think he had the rounds in the gun anyway. But he had them close so he could put them in quick. And my brother can do the thing, where you can put him in under 2-3 seconds. He's calm under pressure. And the gun was moved. And he didn't even feel it. That's crazy.
That's just insane.
And I've been trying to get him to tell these stories. And I believe him. And he's had some other odd things happen. I've not. The closest I've ever had was I was up in the mountains on a hike. And I heard the branches. And I was deep in the woods. We were on a 3-hour hike. And I was alone with the backpack. And I lost sight of everyone. So I don't know if they were effing with me. Or something got close. And when you have, and guys, I'm talking about the 70s and 80s backpacks. The ones that are above your head,
Yeah.
And I was still a teenager. So my peripheral vision, there is none with those backpacks. So I to this day, and no one made a joke of it. No one did anything. And I was like, hey, where were you guys? They'd already gone up ahead, up Santa Anita Canyon to the waterfall. I was just behind them. But there was enough. You guys know when you have that sense, when your hair is telling you, hey, stupid, pay attention, when it stands up. And it stood up for about 10 minutes. And I didn't like that experience. Didn't see anything. I heard something. I didn't smell anything because I'm told that sometimes you can smell it. I did not. And I think I was upwind. So I was aft. It was downwind. So poor thing, But anyway. And then the experience that I had back in November, December when I was coming down the hillside, you've all seen the video. I heard it. It sounded like a mewling cow. It was strange. And my windows were up, and I was doing about 30, 40 miles an hour, and I heard it. That's why I stopped on the side of the road. And my peripheral vision caught movement. I don't know. I believe in people. I take them for their words. And I think there is something out there. What it is, I don't know. But there was another question that was asked. But maybe you want to answer this one, then maybe Nick. That's the one you were talking about, right?
Right. Short answer, no. They've been around way longer than DNA manipulation's been possible.
Nick? Well, okay. Okay. Nick?
Absolutely not. I do not think they were genetically created.
Okay, but what about the bigger ones now? Is it possible?
Look, we have basketball players that are 8 feet tall. I mean, we have humans that are
Oh,
really.
that's right. We talked about that.
I mean, we got Andre the Giant. We've got people all over the world. We've got small people. We've got large people, and just like we have that, they have that the same way. That's nothing that I think is such a mystery. You know, the larger ones, but I highly doubt that. And people want to say, oh, the government has a project. Well, that's BS. I am connected with the government still to this day, and I can tell you through all the different people that I know in there, no such thing. You know how hard it would be to control such a creature like a dog man with the intellect that it has? It would be thinking 24 hours a day how to escape, how to get away. So I mean, no way, no way. They wouldn't be able to control something like that.
Okay, fair enough. And I think she acknowledges what both of you said. That's her comment. I only asked that due to the liger. And I
Right.
think that's a fair question. That's cool.
Well, the
Yeah,
liger, I mean, gives it, just created a much larger animal, but it's still a zoological animal. It's just a hybrid.
right. It's a starts with a C. Gosh, what is the word?
Between a tiger and a lion, it's mated
It's the
in
same as a cross between a mule and a horse,
a donkey. Yeah.
or I mean, a donkey and a horse. Yeah, that creates a mule.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was my conscience, of course.
There's a word for that though. It starts with a C. Um,
And while you try to remember, I want to answer my cousin. We were up Santa Anita Canyon, up by Chantry Flats. And I'm getting some mosquitoes because I left the door open. Oh, that's a massive fly. I hope it's not a fly.
The cryptid fly. Yeah.
That rat.
12 inches long with a stinger.
Oh, damn it. I hope that's not a bee.
Are you allergic?
No, no. Oh, no, not that I know of. It's just, we're going to be finishing up soon, and I don't want to leave it in here.
Get yourself some hairspray and shoot it. Hairspray will take them out.
I'm sure they will, but they're bees. We need them
Yeah.
to survive.
Okay.
We were on Santa Anita, up, as I said, by Chantry Flats. The walk isn't really a big deal getting up there, but there's a beautiful waterfall where we were headed, and there's a wading pool. It's amazing. I'll see if I can get some pictures for another day. It's really amazing. It's only a few hours away from you. I'm not going to kill it, Patty. Don't worry. Oh, here it is. Chimera or Chimera?
Chimera?
yeah, that's what it
Chimera.
is.
Chimera. Am I Latin or what? That was elegant. Oh, come on, Nick. I thought I got a smile out of you on that one. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? What the hell is it? I'm getting buzzed. The tower's getting buzzed right now. Maverick! Get out of here. Anyway, I'm not going to kill it. It's just, it looks like a big fly. So, whatever. But folks, we are getting near the end, and I do know that some people do have to get to work. I'm going to tell you, I've enjoyed this program because it's rare that the three of us are able to spend time together. This was good. We had a lot to talk about, and we shared a lot of information. There was some truth to today, folks. This was really cool. We learned a lot, not only from each other, but from our audience, and it's crazy. It is really amazing what is out there. And Nick, would you explain to everyone what your website, I'm sorry, your endeavor, you talked about it a month and a half ago, and then like the next day you did it. You know what I'm talking about. Would you
Yeah.
please? Because we do have some new people in the audience this evening.
Well, it's on Facebook, and besides the North American Dogman Project, I also run the International Dogman Project. But we have a third website, which is called the Quad Coalition of Sciences. And I was trying to bring together people from the UFOs, the alien people, the zoological people, which is regular science, archaeology, cryptozoology, and the paranormal. Bring them all together, trying to get everybody's ideas on things, everybody's, studies and research, and maybe we can come up with something, anything. If we can explain just one thing, I think the site would be a total success. But, whereas I may not know something in cryptozoology, maybe somebody else would come up with something. Like we had a case up in, all the way up in, I'm not going to say where because a lot of people kind of tracked it down. I want to say Northeast United States. We had a case last year, and the woman had a tupla. And what happened was it was a manifestation. And I had to get a green witch involved because it looked like it was a dog man, yet the lower half of this thing was like a human body. And we got a green witch involved. So what I'm trying to say is here with the Quad Coalition of Sciences, if we can get everybody involved, we might be able to get more answers to some of the situations and the encounters and the questions that we have out there would be great.
I think that's one of the big failings of the entire cryptozoological field is the inability for people, the sciences to work together. And people don't, if somebody says one thing that you disagree with, then suddenly you can't, well, I'm not going to have anything to do with them, even though nothing's ever been proven one way or the other. I think the only way it's going to be figured out is if we do get exactly what you've done, the sciences together, all the fields together.
It's egos.
Together.
I put right on the site, people have to leave their egos at the door and work together, plain and simple. Stop doing it for the money. I mean, some people have to do it for the money, and they admit it, which is fine with me. But also, you could give your research, donate some of your research to help everybody else. People want their 15 minutes of fame. They want to make money on it. And a lot of these people that are trying to make money on it, they're just plain and simply lying. They're making up stories. You've got people out there that say, oh, I have a government agent that tells me all this stuff, and he goes out in the woods without any weapons, and he's killed 100 dogmen. I say you're full of it, sir. The guy that said that, and I don't care. It's just like there's no way. Just yesterday, I deleted a story. I would not accept it on my site where this person said that he went into the woods as a young man of maybe 21. He had no weapons, but a dog man came out of the woods and came at him. And he defeated it by putting his arm down the throat of the dog man and ripped. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Sorry, I don't believe you. I'm going to tell you right to your face. I don't believe you. No way is that going to happen. Yeah. A dog man has more than just his mouth for his offense. He's got claws, okay? He's got a lot of inhuman strength besides the biting capacity. And this person put his arm down his mouth? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just don't believe.
You can't do that with a dog, wolf, or a coyote, much less an animal that is twice or 3 times the size of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you...
So with the site, the Quad Coalition of Sciences, people, I'm just asking...
Coalition of Sciences.
Right. I'm just asking people to think outside the box. Have an open mind. And don't say, no, it couldn't happen. Help us find out how it could have happened. And don't be so critical of people and downing people because they came forward with a story. That's the reason why we only have maybe between a 10-year time span, 4,000 reports of Sasquatch in the United States. We probably had about more than that, maybe 40,000 reports. But the people didn't want to come forward because they didn't want to be ridiculed. As for myself, I had an encounter, and I don't care if people don't believe it. I know what I saw. I know what I believe. And I've been researching it for 8 years now. And I found out a lot about the dogmen. And the people out there that have seen Sasquatch or had Sasquatch affect their lives, Go talk to them and see if they're lying. Talk to them face to face. Try to get somebody that had an encounter like that. We had some people that had an encounter with Mothman way back when. You know, he's supposed to be and I can never pronounce this right, the harbinger of doom.
Oh, harbinger.
Harbinger, there you go, harbinger of doom. And every place he was seen, something bad happened. So, you know, at least he didn't mess with people, I guess.
I was going to mention, I had an encounter nearly 35 years ago, and I immediately went and told a lot of people, and I encountered a tremendous amount of ridicule to the point that I quit talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't, other than to, scare my teenage sons and their friends when they were that age, just to tell them a scary story. It has that effect on you. People suddenly discount your credibility. They call, they laugh behind your back, they laugh in your face, they call you names. It's an awful thing to have to go through. It's like, thank you, Patty. It's like, it's like when a woman is raped and then has to go on trial for being raped. It's the same feeling.
Yeah. Well, there was a doctor years ago, Hollywood, California. He was doing about 40 miles over the speed limit when he got stopped by the police. He had a 44 Magnum revolver on the passenger seat. And it wasn't that he had it illegally, but when the police officers interviewed him, he said that when he's going home now, because he got a report from his wife and children that the creatures are excuse me, the creatures are back again in the backyard. And he was flying home. And it had happened on many occasions. And he did tell the police that, and they did follow him back to his house. And the Hollywood police did investigate it, and they did find footprints in the backyard that were way larger than, a normal human could make without a boot, that is. These were not boot prints, they were footprints. And this doctor found that because it got out through some of the police officers, that he lost a lot of his business, and he had to subsequently move out of Hollywood, California.
Yeah.
And I mean, say you're an executive for Monsanto or Pfizer or some kind of a pharmaceutical company, and you're looking at getting a big raise and a promotion, and you happen to see a Bigfoot or a dog man, a moth man, a lizard man, or some kind of a creature out there, and you report it or you talk to people about it, you think you're going to get that promotion? I'm sorry, even in 2021, I don't think the higher ups are going to look kindly upon you.
No.
I think they're going to say, we don't want somebody like this, running our divisions and trying to make profits and dealing with customers. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Still, even in our open society of transsexuals and, people that think different ways, I mean, so what? As far as I'm concerned, they don't bother me. They don't bother me at all. So they can do what they want and get their body parts changed out if they wish. That's fine. But, I accept it because that's how they accept it. They accept themselves that way and they feel better. And I feel the same way with people that have had encounters with cryptids. You got to accept the fact that they saw something and they believe they did. And I would say more likely that you should try to help them out. But there's a lot of prejudice still out there.
Yes, but your endeavor is one of the first things that, or one of the, it's an endeavor that is trying to bring it all together and hopefully change things. And maybe we'll be able to talk about that again in a future one. We are nearing the end. I understand that we're all short on time right now. I do want to thank everyone that has hung in with us all the way through. This might be one of our shorter Nightmare Hunter episodes, just because it is. We're only up on 3 hours right now. So sorry, Patty. This has been a short one, but we all have stuff that we have to get to. That's why I want to finish up early and on time. Some of us are going to work. Some of us are going to go deal with our own cryptids. But that's neither here nor there. But I kid. Folks, don't forget, if you have a story to share but you don't want to come on air, tell us. And they actually are telling us. And we're not passing judgment. We're not passing anything.
Not at all.
You want to tell your story? You're in good company here. It is accepted, and we do not judge. We all have experiences. We all have those little stories that we're embarrassed to tell, and maybe scared to tell. Because there's that saying in the Latin world that once you say it, it becomes true, or the self-fulfilling prophecy, whichever one it is. There's several. It's crazy. But once also admitting is the first step to recovery, I guess. I don't know. But I'm mumbling. I think I am a bit tired now. It's starting to catch up with me. But two rock stars here with me tonight. I was not expecting either one, and it was a thrill to have them both. We just got another like, our 16th one. Kayleen Stoughton. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but we thank you.
I know.
Yes. Oh, okay. Excellent. So, yet again, part of the extended family. Folks, Nightmare Hunter will be on in 2 weeks again. Monday Night in America will be on next week. But, you might catch us on every now and then. So, we'll see. But for now, Neoma, thank you. Nick, thank you.
Thank you.
I thank you for what you guys do. I thank you for spending time with me tonight. And this is good. So, we're going to finish up a tad early, because we all have to get to things right now. But I wasn't expecting either one of you, and I was thrilled tonight. And everyone else in the chat room. Folks, it's the chat room that makes it. Come on, folks. We love it. You know it. We try to get to all comments. We didn't get to all of them, but we try. And if we miss something, you notice my co-host did tell me, hey, I want to go back to that one. So please leave the comments. If you have questions for us, fire them off. But this is going to be it. We're pretty much done. I'm going to finish up with the video. One of my favorite videos right now. You all know it was the July 4th video. I just adore that one. And I'm going to finish up with that one right now, folks. So we are out of here. Neoma, quick last words, and then Nick.
We'll be in Gatlinburg next weekend, or this coming weekend, the 24th. If anybody wants to come out and say hi. Your
website?
Dixie Cryptid. It's the YouTube channel. And What If It's True?
Awesome. Nick.
Cameron Buckner.
Well, as everybody knows, we're going to reopen the LBL Tennessee case, and we'll be going up there, within the next month or so. And also, just to Naoma, we're going to need your help on that project next year that DA and Roger and I are involved in. So we need to talk to you about that. So Absolutely. We'll be in touch.
I'm excited.
Folks, if something does go bump in the night, don't keep it to yourself. Call someone who knows. Call Nick. Call DA. I'll make noise.
Bump back.
Yeah.
He's the nightmare hunter. He'll track it down for you, people.
I believe. Folks, we'll see you guys on the other side. Take care. Family first always. And remember your older neighbors around you. Sometimes they even, if we're scared for some of that stuff out there, think about them. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Good hunting.
Good afternoon. In less than a week, we hope to fire up our grills and launch one of the biggest 4th of July celebrations in the history of the United States. The United States. Those words have new meaning for us all today. And whether you drive a pickup or a hybrid, you live in the heartland or on the coast, or whether you pronounce it America or Murica, we're all Americans. Seldom on the same page, but reading from the same book. On holidays, anyway. Perhaps it's fate that this 4th of July, we gotta once again come together to lend a hand to those less fortunate whose fate still lies in the balance. We're fighting for freedom for all, not from alien invaders, from separation, from being cooped up while baking bread and ignoring basic hygiene. The time has come for us to get fresh, gather the crew, and eat veggie and meat burgers till we sweat. And then let's work together towards a future where everyone can come to the party. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will fill the sky with so much light and freedom, this thing will rue the day it ever messed with us. Together, we celebrate our Independence Day. Go forth, America.